Or
Yeah, just start talking. A lot of people watch the replay, especially once you really get going. And the people who watch the replay watch the ads too, so your revenue actually goes up on the replay. You know where I learned that? Listening to Tim K years ago. He said, we don't have a big audience now, but the replay is where I make my money. So it's true. Just start when you just start, and people can rewind if they want to hear what we said.
okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit this morning about our plans. James and Karen came over from Panay, the Panay Island.
Panay.
Panay. So they came over from Panay Island, and so we're just going to go over our day itinerary a little bit. So the guys have to dry rice because we're out of rice in the valley, so they'll be drying rice, and then we're going to go to this mountain behind us, is Booga Booga, and Booga Booga is the Japanese hid there during World War II, and they supposedly hid a bunch of gold in the jungle here. So every year we have a flock of Japanese people that come here,
Wow.
and they look for the gold. But it's like, I don't know why, because if they find the gold, they can't get it out of here. But yeah, it's like so. Yeah, that's our. We're gonna go up there and do some long form because I'm lacking. I am really lacking hours, bro. I only got like 34 payable hours.
What you need to do is make 1 2 hour videos. You actually ought to go up there and look for the freaking gold, man. Where is it? Which way is the mountain?
Just right here. So we're actually we sit on the foothills of the
Uh huh.
Booga Booga Mountains. So yeah, yeah, it's right behind us to the north.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna go. Well, base it more. It's more or less northeast of us. We're on the roof deck right now, guys. So this house has 2 stories and a roof deck, and it's a recycle water center. So it's set up with troughs in the sides, and then it recycles to the edge of the house. And yeah, so in case we run out of water, we'll
That's
always have.
awesome. I didn't even notice that before.
I'll show you after we get off here. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's our plan today. Is just a quick because we don't have a lot of time, and then we'll be doing the farm truck tomorrow. So we'll try to go live from the farm.
Uh huh.
Definitely, I could do the farm every single day. I mean, we could be there every day.
That's the best content. That's what I watch. If I'm sitting around watching YouTube about the Philippines, I want to see the farm videos first.
Yeah, we could do the farm every single day, and we kind of because I got to get some long forms, so we kind of went over uh, kind of an itinerary or a project what we're going to do for the long forms. And what we're going to do is the first one, and I'll probably premiere it, is going to be and I may even promote it, but it's going to be a survival video. So
Uh huh.
what we're going to do is we're going to go out in the jungle, and we're going to just basically do a harvest out of the jungle, and then maybe even
Live off the land.
yeah, maybe
Okay.
even cook it.
Okay.
So we can even set up and cook with the local woods there, and show you guys how the farmers here really survive. They survive on their own edibles, but more or less they survive on the jungle food too, like the bananas and the edibles.
Coconut oil. Karen took me up. Did a
Well,
video
yeah,
kind of like
coconut
that.
oil is huge here, man.
She took she showed me how to up on the mountain without using any modern conveniences to harvest the coconuts and cook it all the way down to oil over a fire on the mountain.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah. And you know what people don't realize? So in the Philippines, one of their big downfalls is they're getting recycled oil from China, which is actually a proven carcinogenic.
Yep.
They're killing
Yeah.
themselves. So yeah, when they got coconut growing right off their
Yeah.
balcony, it's crazy, man. To me, it's not. I have we have part of a farm down in Oslo, southern Cebu, and our family down there, they farm beautiful organic cabbage and vegetables, and then they go sell it to a restaurant in Oslo, and then they go buy Chinese refined foods that are dyes and everything. It doesn't make any sense, man. But I hate to say this, but don't get me wrong, but it's laziness. They don't want to prepare the food. Caroline lived with them for a year. I want to say 2023 or something. She was down there for about a year. Now she took over the cooking. So she was cooking all the cabbage soups and the different Filipino dishes. People come from miles around just to eat her food.
We got some comments here. Daniel
Okay.
Edmonds says good morning, Belus and James. Brian, insert name here. Brian says good morning, guys. Good morning, Brian. Is that gold search still going on? Yeah, apparently it is. Apparently it is. I really look forward to going out in the jungle and seeing this place. Brian says Yoshida's gold or something.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the
right.
one.
Yep.
Like Leyte was a big one for Japanese activity in World War II, so there's probably a lot of stuff stashed here.
Well, yeah, and they still find Japanese weaponry, Japanese skeletons.
Yeah.
They're still finding them. The whole jungle's littered with it.
Karen told me when she was a
Swords.
kid near the grade school, there were some human bones and there were some like watches and a hoard of like war spoils hidden there.
Yes, and there still is now. Now the big issue here, because my workers had found some when we constructed this house, but the big issue here is rust. So
Yeah.
everything here just
Yeah, if
rusts.
it's made out of steel, it's gone.
Yeah, it's like in Wyoming we'd bury our ARs in a barrel of grease. It's so funny. Yeah, the militias now, and I don't know about Missouri, but Wyoming is the highest per capita gun ownership in the U.S.
Yeah.
So per capita, every American in Wyoming has like 15, 20 guns. So they're just getting ready, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of treasures here, and there's gold here too, but it's just getting it out of the country is we're going to run into the problems, and people here cannot keep a secret. So it's like it's almost impossible for locals to keep a secret. So even your workers and stuff, you have to. I trust you keeping a secret, or because we know how to keep a secret, but locals do not know how to keep a secret. So we're just talking about that today about how someone will say something to the other person, not even their significant other, like she's just using him to get to a western state, or they'll blab it. It's like a pride thing. I don't know. I really don't. But they cannot keep a secret here, man.
Brian, one of Brian's comments just got hidden, and I even as being the administrator here, it won't let me show your comment, Brian. I'm trying. So, but it's because you said JAP. You're not allowed to do that on YouTube.
Oh,
so you have to say what? I'll say the full word. One Japanese soldier walked out of the jungle in '74. I think he didn't know the war had ended. Yep. There were quite a few holdouts that were hiding in these jungles, and the reason is it's very hospitable. There's food, like Belus is telling us. There's food everywhere in these mountains. And if you know how to live off the land here, you don't ever need to see civilization. You can survive a long time.
Yeah, you can eat everything from fruits to coconut grubs, right in the base of a coconut, though. If a tree falls over, there's these big grubs. They're big, man, these big grubs, and they just eat them whole, They don't crush the head.
That's what Karen was telling me. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, maybe it's fine.
So Big Lon says, sounds good. Ted in Bahal says, hey, guys, palm oil farms used to be big, but not so much now. Yeah, Ted, the palm oil, I think, is not as healthy, so maybe it's a good thing, but the coconut oil is healthy.
It's very healthy. It's like one of the top olive oil, olive oil, coconut oil, and then rendered fats like pork.
Yep.
Pork rendered fat. Beef tallow is very healthy.
Yep. So they it's good that they're shutting down the palm kernel oil. I'd rather Karen buy, and Karen does buy the coconut oil. And sometimes they cook it down and make their own coconut oil as well.
So yeah, we're gonna hit Booga right off the bat this morning, and we got our employees will be going live with this later, but we'll just kind of be going over the farms, and James will be like the rice and the copra, and then the edibles in the forest. They call it their jungle forest. I call it jungle. So we'll be going over the edibles and the trek in there. It's quite a trek, man. It's very political because it's almost like they got us landlocked, and there's one politician that's a bad apple, and she's trying to landlock us.
Sounds like what's going on in Wyoming with the checkerboards and the people crossing the corners. Section lines.
I don't know. It's like Wyoming is like we have a lot of problem with poachers.
That went all the way to Supreme Court because people were going over the
to
corners.
Get to state land.
Yeah, and they said, well, you can't cross the corner.
They can't.
They went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled against the landowners.
Really?
Now they can cross the corners.
Well, that's terrible. But so we do have landlocked BLM and state land in Wyoming, and I purchased actually 150 acres. From BLM that was landlocked. They did a big land trade deal.
Yeah, they do that, yeah.
So I got to purchase 150, which I ended up losing when my dad died. So because he took everything away and it was under the corporate name. So it was about a $48,000 waste of money. So, but
That's been a really big hot issue on like a lot of the outdoor forums back in the U.S. That's how I know about it.
we got the Colonel coming in here. Come on. You do look like that.
Wilson?
Wilson!
Wilson?
So yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm excited to have them here, and then we're gonna do a special live campfire vlog from McClungman Island coming up maybe Saturday. I'm thinking. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna do the farm tomorrow.
I'm having an issue.
The
I
Colonel.
didn't bring the barrel jacks for the 12-volt battery, so I might have to cut this one and use a 12-volt battery. But we'll do it. We'll make.
Oh,
it
I
happen.
have all kinds of them.
You have
You
those
mean-
barrel jacks for the Starlink?
The barrel jacks.
Do you have the one that plugs in the power
Good morning,
source?
folks. While they figure out how
I don't
to
care.
plug
I'll
in
just
their
butcher that
batteries,
cord and make one if I got.
I'll
to.
say good
I
morning.
think I do. I think I do.
Because-
For my Starlink.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm okay.
Okay. Then I'll just butcher
I'm like
mine
the
on a
third
new one 'cause
wheel.
I almost never use it.
I'm just hanging
I
around
left it behind. I have an alligator clip.
Yeah, I got
So
all
the
day.
peak, the peak 2 battery, don't buy it.
because I'm not
Okay.
farming
It's-
anymore.
It's screwing me over bad, man. It's having a glitch right now.
Okay.
I'm just farming their channels. That's all.
So subscribe to the Colonel's Chronicles. See if you got your phone.
Yeah, I got
Comment
my
will
phone.
pin you.
Okay.
Subscribe to mine and James and Karen, and I'm just really trying to get
Who's
viewers.
on? Is it you,
I
Belus,
got-
or James? Who's on?
Me.
Okay.
So I have 38 views, viewable hours for monetization. Only 38. So I need 3,000 just to make the first stage. But I had a couple of videos go viral and stuff, and they've really not helped me because shorts don't do anything for view hours. So yeah, that's why we're doing the live streams and the long. Now I'm going to convert to long form and get my view hours, which I don't think I'll have a problem doing.
No,
with the
you won't have a
phone.
problem at all. This,
Because it's quite an adventure. Everything from you'll see cobras to just about everything in the jungle. I mean, everything. That, I always like to say that I like the 1,000 ways it'll kill you, or the naked and afraid.
how does it compare to Wyoming?
I want to see you.
Wyoming's
making
got
it.
a few ways to kill you too. They're different.
This place is very the people are the same.
Uh-huh.
So we're very conservative Christians in Wyoming, and they're very conservative Christians here. The biggest thing here is 98% humidity year round, and in Wyoming it's 40 below and with a 52 below wind chill factor. So it's like night and day for weather, but the people are the same.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm like province country people
Yep.
are really the same
Yep.
all over the world, and I've
Yep.
been all over. I've been to Eastern Europe. Actually, James is Ukrainian, right?
1/4. My grandma's people came from there.
Well, I'm Slovakian, Poland. So
It was called Lemberg back then, Lviv.
we're kind of neighbors. Our forefathers kind of neighbors too. So I get along really good with James because he's a farm boy and I'm a farm boy. I'm a cattle farmer and he's a Missouri. What would you call yourself? A cattle farmer or a corn farmer or what?
Cattle.
Cattle.
Cattle's what I know best.
Okay,
Cow
me too.
calf.
When you were talking about, so we were talking about mummified calves when they had coccidiosis or something.
Yeah,
What?
leptospirosis.
Yeah,
You get a
leptos.
dead calf in there.
What's that?
Go and pin that.
Okay, I'll pin.
I'll do
gonna
it on
pin the
here. I'll do it
kernel.
on here. It's much
Okay,
safer to do
okay.
it on here.
So yeah, we were talking about mummification of calves. And I don't know how many calves when that went through. How many calves I've dug out of cattle, dead calves mummified. So they mummify their own calf. You know, they throw them and then they mummify them, and because the body reabsorbs the calf. So talk about stench. Actually, them little fish that stink so bad they cook here. That's like heaven compared to a mummified calf. I mean, it is unbelievable. Being a farmer, a cattle farmer, what you go through, you know. And you have to twist calves around, so there will be a backwards calf, so you'll have to have your arm up to your shoulder into a cow, and you got to flip that calf around. And usually she's been straining so long that when you get her the right way, that calf just comes flying out of that cow.
I can't get it, Colonel. For some reason, it's not working. There's a leptospirosis strain called Bovis, and they don't expel the calf, basically. And the reason we're talking about this is because leptospirosis is very pin message. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Leptospirosis is very prevalent here in the Philippines, and it's prevalent back in Missouri and the United States too. Basically, the rats spread it, the dogs and cats. The dogs spread it, the cats don't. Dogs spread it.
Go ahead. Talk.
Raccoons can spread it. So they get in your hay, they get in your feed mill, whatever, and they spread their leptospirosis, and then the next thing you know, your cows are all aborting. Or you can bring a cow home from the sale barn and she'll infect the whole rest of the herd.
Hey,
Or you
James.
can bring a bull in, and the bull can infect the whole herd.
Hey, dude, J-Boy wants to know if you notice the difference between, not today now, between the humidity between here and Airplane.
I've only
Today
been
it's
here
not
a
bad.
short time. Today is really, really beautiful. It's
normal.
perfect weather today, J-Boy.
Yeah, no rain yet.
And I've only been here a really short time, so I'm not really qualified to say, but it seems a little bit more humid. It seems a little bit warmer, but yeah, it's comfortable today. Very comfortable right now.
Yeah,
It's-
this is the first time I've been over here where we haven't had rain.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's nice.
yesterday was hot coming back from Tacloban, and today looks like it's going to be a hot one today also with no rain. The last time I was here in Leyte visiting Belus, it rained nonstop. It seemed like it was very very humid, very yeah. It was the moisture was very thick in the air. But right now this is just like
This is actually abnormal, so you guys
Okay.
know.
Okay.
It's not normal. It's the sunny mornings is normal, but we're going into the summer months, the hot season, so it's transitioning. So when the Colonel was here, it was actually the rainy season. So we're just starting to get out of that. So we're running about 87% humidity right now. Usually we'd be about 98% humidity. I could go see on my thing. I didn't check this morning, but yeah.
Did you look for vipers yet?
No, but I got to get the guys. We got a tree here that's getting too close to the house, so we got to trim it. Otherwise, the pit vipers come on the roof deck. So we have a lot of many ways to pass away here in the Philippines, and snakes is one of them.
That's a big difference between this
Yeah, that was
island
quick
and
melt.
Panay Island. Back there, I talked to the doctors at Asia Pacific. They said they haven't seen any snake bites. That's pretty much not happening. So over here, and I've only seen in the whole time I've been here 3 cobra.
Huh?
It's because they're dead before they get to the hospital, so they don't.
Well, you can't get to the farmers is the closest Ormuc, and how that's like a
You get bit by a snake out here.
No medevac
You're
here.
you're
no
done.
medevac. No, yeah, you're done. You're done.
No medevac. The
Tourniquet and hope for the best.
yeah, your medical triage team is not the same here. They
You're
don't
gonna
have
lose
it.
that limb at least.
Yeah.
Depending what kind of snake it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. They say don't tourniquet on a snake bite, but I'll tell you what. The first thing I do is tourniquet. I don't
It's a
care what they say,
neurotoxin, I think
because
you probably
you're not going to make it to Tacloban or Ormoc.
Yeah.
You will not make it. You might as well just kiss your limb goodbye. And I definitely would tourniquet. Definitely, if I got bit by a snake. Here. So
You carry a belt around you can use for a tourniquet?
I have one right here on. So,
Alright,
but
so,
like a dish towel would be, but I gotta get a combat. I should have combat medicine tourniquet in the truck because I'm actually on thinner and everything. So I should have tourniquets everywhere because I could die in a bike wreck. I mean, I just get a little cut and I just bleed profusely. Like that one. Remember that one on my hand? I lost a lot of blood just from that one on my hand. I don't know if I showed that. I don't think I was back. I just returned to YouTube, so I've only been back. This is my third week. Third week of being back to YouTube.
Yeah, when Belus was live streaming with me when I was here before, I think he got the YouTube bug again. Because he was quite the YouTuber before, and you know, he kind of had a parting the ways with YouTube there for a little bit, but now he's back, and he got excited about it again because either that or he got jealous of the Colonel.
No, I'm excited, but my wife's so private that
Yeah, that's true.
I'll do it until if it, you know, I think once we have a little bit of income, and I told my wife that I would, because I can't really, it's going to all convert to her. So, yeah, so the income's going to go to my wife and my employees. It won't actually go to me. I'm sure I'll benefit a little bit once we get to that stage. But, yeah, so she should be a little bit more excited once the income starts coming in.
That's nice, Sula. She said James and Karen helped me find so many great channels. They're the originals.
Wow.
I think the young people call you the OG.
Thanks for joining us here, Sula. We appreciate it. Karen's still sleeping. Otherwise, Karen would be here
Brian
too.
says even twisting your shirt or pants help, talking about the snake bites to slow down the flow.
I'll tell you, man, you're not going to, it would be, to me, instant tourniquet. I mean, instantly.
I saw on Antique on Facebook, they found a large cobra and a king cobra, and the people that I had Karen translating from Filipino, and the people were really mad. They said, "Where did this cobra come from? The government's bringing them in." The people were saying that in the comments.
yeah.
I'm like, "Where have I seen this before?" I've seen this with the people in Missouri. Every time they find a mountain lion, the farmers are like, the government's bringing them in. And with the wolves up in Montana,
Yeah.
they say, where'd these wolves come from? The government's bringing them in with helicopters.
Hey,
It's
might
like,
be true.
it was partially true, wasn't it, about the wolves? Didn't they bring them down from
Well, they
Canada
did
on
bring
helicopters?
Yeah, they brought them in. Yeah, and I'll tell you, in Wyoming, we have it's called the 3S. We got bumper stickers, 3S's. It's bang, pew pew or whatever, shovel and shut up, and that's
Hey, you're not supposed to
Hey,
give
if
away
you don't-
operational secrets on
Well,
If
YouTube.
you don't,
everybody knows it.
listen, if you don't let the humans control the critter population, then
Yeah.
you got to bring other critters to control the critter population.
Well, the
Also,
problem
to
is
me, that's
we
about
have
what the wolves were about.
massive elk herds in Wyoming, and people come from all over the world to hunt elk, and the it's only been like 10 years and the wolves have decimated the elk herds. So we're totally against wolves, man.
They're talking about, I saw a couple days ago, they're talking about wolf reintroductions in Missouri in order to control the deer.
Yeah,
The deer hunters and the DNR have gone so overboard with the deer, protecting the deer.
Stop
Yeah.
control. I
That
mean,
the-
you
no.
can only shoot one buck, and then you got to have a doe tag.
And they
It's
want,
crazy.
yeah. They
Well,
want,
just like Wyoming, you can get, like James is in Missouri, he could come hunt Wyoming. He pays for his tag initially, or his group tag, pay for their tags, and then he can get a doe, an additional 2 more or 3 more additional doe find tag. So James can go to Wyoming and walk out of there with 5 deer. 5 deer in Wyoming.
yeah.
So
Missouri's overrun.
in Wyoming, whitetail, right?
Yeah, whitetail, only whitetail.
Yeah. We're missing a lot of comments here, though. But
Go ahead.
I skipped over a bunch, but Sula says they want to reintroduce the wolf to Ireland to control the deer population, but now they're allowing Americans to come hunt because it's very competitive here.
And
That's
it's
interesting.
Yeah, they
It's-
would rather feed the wolves.
Yeah.
The
Feed
deer to
the
the wolves
people.
than let hunters come in and
Yeah,
have
it's
them, which
crazy,
makes
and
me mad.
Yeah, because you can put that in your freezer.
Not to mention all the farmers who are going to lose sheep and their goats and their cattle and their horses.
Well, and that's what Sula says.
Because the wolves will take horses.
Yeah, we can't have wolves.
They'll
They
hamstring
destroy
your
our
horse.
livestock, and Sula's exactly right.
I got spun off. I
And,
was going to comment on
Ted
that.
says most provinces don't even have antivenom. Pretty much done when it comes to king cobras. Gino says, "Good morning, the three amigos."
So there's that. Good morning, Gino.
All I think was that movie
Yeah,
with Steve
baby,
Martin.
capazón.
Three amigos. Who was that? Steve Martin,
Yeah.
Short, and who was the other?
But yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's
to me it was really funny though to see the guys in the and it was a long comment box. There were hundreds of comments from people from Antique
Well, okay.
saying that hey, the government must be letting them go because I've lived my whole life here and I've never seen a king cobra. That's what the comments were saying in Filipino.
I got one for you. All the boars and wild pigs in Texas. How come they're not feeding the homeless with them?
Yeah.
You know, how come they're not process? James worked for a massive processing plant. How come they don't process them, go on,
Well,
and start feeding the homeless?
Because they
Well,
want you to pay for your food. They want you to pay.
They want
you have
the
to
tax.
Buy,
It
yeah.
was- tax, so they can
it's
steal
the
it.
same thing with the Chinese carp. Now, I haven't been in the U.S. in a long time, so I'm just talking off of what I've seen and heard. I don't have the stats to back it up, but they're complaining about the Chinese carp taking over the rivers and the habitat. Hey, go in there and net them suckers, throw back the fish that you want to keep so they're still alive, and take those carp and process them. You can process them into food for people, which, yeah, Americans don't want to eat carp, but you can eat them. The Asians do it all the time. Process it into dog food, cat food. There's any number of things you
How
can do
many
with those carp,
Asians-
and it could be a huge business. And I think there are actually Americans now that are actually getting into that, where, hey, that's a huge business opportunity in the U.S. In the fish market.
Well, how many Asians is it? It's good save, good save.
Jeez.
That's all right. That's all right. So, how many Asians is there in America?
That's the strong
Many.
wind and Leyte.
Yeah,
Blew the phone
welcome to
right off the
Leyte.
table.
Welcome to Leyte. So, how many? We have such an Asian population. We have such a mixed culture in
Like what I
America
was
that
saying.
it's so stupid. The Food and Drug Administration until the Kennedy got in
USDA.
there, we were eating carcinogenics. Now we got a good
Am I wrong about
guy,
Kennedy,
Kennedy,
Robert Kennedy.
and
that?
they're
No, am I wrong about
and
the
they're
fish?
No, you're right.
and they're doing Robert Kennedy, and now he's outlawing food dyes that are proven carcinogenics and all this, and the libs are throwing a fit. It's like,
Yeah, the liberals used to be against the big corporations. Now they're for them.
Yeah, because they're being
Jay
paid.
boy.
Liberals used to
They're
be.
paying the demonstrations.
Liberals
funny,
used to
Jay
want
boy.
you liberals used to want clean water and pure food. Now they're for the big corporations. Why? Because they're getting,
I don't know how we spun off to politics, but we'll just go with it.
I could change it back. Jay.
Yeah, we better
Jay-
just talk about
Hey,
farming.
Jay boy says you heard a loud bang. You want to know if James was setting off fireworks again?
Yeah, Jen's getting off easy because neither one of us are there.
That's
bother
right.
her.
Yeah, nobody's there to harass Jen.
Is she on
She's
here?
such a good sport.
She's probably teaching school right now.
So yeah, but
Cool.
so you all know, which is fine with me. Conservative. So we're all conservative. So that's how we get along so well in the Philippines. Let's talk about transition. How conservative Filipinos move to the West and they transition into liberals because their destination is California.
Yeah, it happens. A lot of people. I know people here from Leyte, and they still pretty conservative. But they tell me, I know literally people from Tacloban, and all over Leyte and Samar, and Penay as well. But some of these guys, not all of them, some of them are content to blend in and join the culture. But some of them are angry because their kids, they don't want to go fishing anymore. They're always on their phones.
Yeah.
They're hanging with a bad crowd. They're learning about to smoke illegal substances at the school, and they're mad about it.
They're handing the shit out.
Yeah, they're
Excuse
mad
my-
about it.
I don't know
And
if I could say that
and
on
the,
there,
and the food is not healthy.
Processed.
They're worried about their kids eating unhealthy food and hanging out with the wrong friends. And they say it was better back in the Philippines. I've had a couple of guys tell me that.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of benefits about living here, and there's a lot of not so great things about living here. But I think it outweighs the benefits outweigh the problems with the Philippines. As far as it's almost a blessing to live
If you had a
here.
kid today, would you want them raised here or we want them raised in America? And for
Better
me,
values here.
overwhelmingly here is a better environment.
Yeah, totally,
Because
100%.
you're not going to get arrested if your kid goes driving the motorcycle to town, to get to buy groceries, to go to the sorry. You're not going to get arrested. In America, I got a friend, that kid went to the town. She's in jail for 4 years because he's driving a pickup truck and got in an accident. Here, all the kids are driving around on their scooters, going here and there.
Yeah, you'll see a 7 to 8 year old on a XR 150 that he can't even touch the ground. They run alongside and they jump it, And I've even seen little kids driving their elders around.
Yeah.
On bikes. So
Who's gonna?
Leyte is very lawless as far as if you're in a local barangay, the PNP allow no registration. They allow all that. Once you get
No
outside,
license, no RCR.
yeah, it's pretty much like a moped. They consider the scooter, which to me they are almost like mopeds.
That's funny, Jay boy.
Go ahead and comment.
Don't get it.
but-
Jay boy says, Colonel, don't worry. We're harassing her on our live stream about you two. Oh my goodness. Colonel's the only one giving us attention, Sula says. That's funny, Sula. That's because I love all the viewers equally.
Yeah, so the Colonel's Chronicles is pinned. Sub to him. He's a new YouTuber. Come from Thailand. He's been away from America for how many years?
11 and a half years. or
11 and a half years.
More than that,
He's
actually.
been here a couple of years, right?
Yeah, 2 years and 2 months.
2 years, 2 months. Single, so the ladies know.
Oh my goodness.
Single. He's
I'm
very.
just chilling.
He's a very picky man that every time he sees a beautiful Panay, he's just wants to say hi.
I'm not
Very picky.
I'm not. I tell people I'm picky, but the reality of it is honestly, I'm just realistic. I'm realistic about relationships, and I'm realistic what goes on behind the relationships and the motives of people, because I've experienced it, and I'm a person myself, and
And I used to
I'm in
have
tune with how people
I
think.
used to have a problem with when I first came over here with the age gap, but after I've been here for 5 years, no problem anymore because the locals, it's
I
a
prefer the
security
age gap.
thing. Well, it's a security for an 80-year-old guy could walk into this country and end up dating a 30-year-old woman and there's nothing wrong with the 50-year age gap because she's getting security and he's getting his companionship. So it's like to me it's almost like because these women care. Yeah. And Western women do not. So,
and
not
most
to
of
cut
us-
them all down, but there are some good Western women, but they
most
don't.
of us men are. I mean, we're looking for honesty,
Yeah.
loyalty, and somebody who's not going to cheat, and somebody who's going to look out for you that you can trust with your assets.
Don't
Okay?
get me wrong. You'll find the other side too in the cities here.
Oh yeah.
The
There's good and bad everywhere.
hunters or whatever they call them.
Visa hunters.
What are they? Visa
Visa
hunters.
hunters, yeah.
You'll find them in the cities on some of the dating sites and stuff, but in the province, no way, man. These girls are raised up Christian, and they have I don't want to say religious values. I'll say Christian values. And my wife's
Family
a prime.
values.
My wife's a prime. I married her at 43, and I was her first real relationship. I mean, serious first love, and I'm going on. We just celebrated our 5th year anniversary, so.
Panay Hart says hello.
Hello, Panay
James,
Hart at
Carnal,
home.
and Belus.
Thanks for joining us.
And Sula says processed food is a contributor to mental health issues, in my opinion.
I think
You're right, Sula.
You might be onto something there. I don't have the stats to back that up, but you might be onto something. You can have some of our Australian ones if you want, Sula. Okay, Brian. Australian what, Brian? Oh, the snake? No thank. Nah, we don't need any more snakes over here in the Philippines.
when they shut down the mental hospitals in America, it was the worst thing that could have happened. The doctor started drugging the mentally ill, and now they're on the street.
Brian.
So,
Well, Reagan did that.
well,
right?
I was
funny,
like,
Brian.
good Lord.
There was a Rockford. You ever watched Rockford Files?
Yeah.
Remember that one where he got involuntarily committed
Wow.
by the corrupt sheriff?
No.
That was pretty funny. But it was kind of a statement against the system, and then Reagan came along and acted on that. It was political activism.
But it's totally wrong, and now we have literally.
That's what's wrong in San
Now
Francisco
we're back on
and
the politics.
Chicago and a lot of the
Dude,
cities.
it's
where you
hard
have
to
the
stay
homeless
away.
people. The homeless people they're either drug addicts or mentally.
So,
or
James,
both.
why are you here?
I'm here because of Karen, and I decided I
Yeah,
like the
but why?
environment.
'Cause
And
it's
why are
still
you so
raining in
comfortable
Akron.
here? Because you don't have that. You don't have
Yeah.
the. That's why I don't have to
Exactly.
wake up to parades of half-dressed men calling
All right,
themselves
yeah, you gotta
women.
be
Oh
careful.
my goodness.
Careful with those.
But
Well,
anyway, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Okay, well, back on a different island. Gino says it's still raining in Akron, and we got more sunshine lately. Isn't that strange, Gino? Because it's usually the
Yeah.
other way around, man. Although you got a lot of rain in Akron too. And
Salute.
Stone Cold's in the house. He says once bitten. Yeah, I wish it was once there, Stone Cold, but I got bit 3 times
On what? Oh, twice shy,
with
babe.
women.
Sula says, I refute that. I think Irish women are good women.
Ah, J-Boy. J-Boy says the colonel's picky unless the lady has fireworks. Well, J-Boy, I'm a firm believer in sometimes you got to make your own fireworks. And I'll just leave that at that.
I've met
I refute
beautiful,
that, Bella Sula says.
beautiful women that are conservative all
I think
over the
Irish
world.
women are good.
So, especially Eastern Europe.
Good.
But
know.
and I don't know. I never did
That's
the
great,
dating
Sula.
sites. I never did anything like that. I've never even dated in this country. But I met my wife. I came over and we came to her family's house, and I met my wife. We did a kayak race. She catered to me, and I fell in love with her. And 2 years later, we ended up getting married. But yeah, I've dated conservative, good valued women in Eastern Europe too. Basically all over the world. They're everywhere. I mean, so it's really they're not just in Asia or whatever. And even back home, there are still a few, back home in the USA.
I gotta tell you, Sula, my mother was Irish. So, I got nothing negative to say about Irish women.
I have zero Irish in me. Gino and I. Hopefully Gino's still in the house.
JB, J-Boy.
Are you
So
getting
I
any
feel the
comments there?
Philippines and Ireland
Lots.
is very
Okay, you
similar.
can butt
Sula's
in.
a little mad about what, takes issue with what you said to Bellis about the women.
About.
She said, I feel Philippines and Ireland is very similar culturally, the women.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. Now I can't say that, Zula, because I've never been to Ireland.
He's talking about American women,
Yeah,
Sula.
I'm from so Wyoming, James and I, because the left has taken over Missouri, where Wyoming is all conservative Christian. So a lot of our women in Wyoming they have good values. They're farm girls. They have really, really good. So it's like a wave moving from like east to west, west to east, and it's just kind of encapsulated. It has not made Wyoming, which I don't think it'll ever interfere in Wyoming because we're so conservative, you know. And we're talking about the pew pews and how many. It's Wyoming's the highest per capita in the whole USA. So every Wyomingite owns 15 pew pews. So it's like I don't think it'll ever
But the
come in.
population of Wyoming is, what is it, like 500,000? It's not very big.
No, it's not very big. No.
So if there's a refugee crisis somewhere and they start issuing, if they issue, you know, a million refugee visas, you're going to be outvoted when they bring those new people and resettle them in Wyoming.
True, but
And
they
that's
will
how-
never get to
that-
Wyoming. They're not going to get in.
I didn't think they'd get to Missouri. I didn't think.
Yeah,
they, you know,
true. Maybe you're
I
right.
didn't-
Maybe
well, they're
not.
in Minnesota. What happened to Minnesota? Minnesota got flipped by the same strategy. They import people from a country. They give them a lot of benefits. They tell them this is how you're going to vote, and then all of a sudden you lose a state that should be voting, you know, conservative is voting liberal.
Yeah,
Let's
it was
talk about
back in the
Hold
80s.
on, let me interject. We got something really important here to say. Panay Hart at home, you're a sweetheart. You all look very handsome. No wonder you captured my fellow Filipino hearts. Thanks for being positive about the Philippines. Yeah, I mean, why not be positive about the Philippines, you know?
Look around, man. That's the Philippines is a wonderful place to be, and the people.
Yeah, everything's not perfect.
And they tolerate
But why
us. They
dwell on
like us
that?
being here. They got no problem with us being here. It's really, really a great place to be.
It's
Who could
security
complain?
for companion. Like a Westerner man, we're looking for companionship, and Filipino Panay, and she's looking, and even the whole families are looking for security. So it's really a match made in heaven. I mean, it just works. It works well.
The cross-cultural exchanges benefits both sides too,
The
because they're
English
learning
is a
things from
big,
us,
yeah.
and we're learning
English.
things from them. So it's kind of very complementary.
James, this
And
is up your
English is
alley.
a
Read that from Sewell,
English
by
is
the
a
way.
massive
You're
because they
more-
speak
that's up your
English.
alley.
So it's a massive,
Perhaps her opinion.
you know, contribution that we could communicate with our spouses or the ones we're dating, or like I can go to Vietnam and be completely lost.
Yeah.
You know, how do I get to such and such hotel?
Same thing with Japan. They don't speak English.
Yeah, I'll never find, which is crazy because they're one of our big allies. But yeah, and I know there's a little bit of heat in like our Japan bases because some of the soldiers don't misbehave and stuff up in Japan, and it's kind of rubbed them wrong. But
Hey, fellas, I just thought of something.
what's that?
We got like three decades here. James is in his 40s, you're in your 70s, and I'm in my 60s.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
James is in his 40s, Belus is still in his 50s, I'm in my 60s, so you got like 3 decades here of
Were you a
wisdom or
millennial
non-wisdom.
or a Gen X?
I'm a baby boomer, dude.
Baby boomer.
I think that
Gen X.
the difference between the generations broke. Something broke. Be from my generation to the next. I think it was after me.
Gen
after
Z.
me, the next one is like.
It
went off a
started in
cliff.
my gen. It started.
It started,
Yeah.
but the
You're like at the tail
so-
end of a Gen Z.
We got to
Oh.
read just what Sula says.
yeah,
Perhaps
Gen X,
my-
tail end
Gen
of Gen
X,
X,
Gen X, yeah.
the end of Gen X,
And yeah, the
the very end.
variant. Yep.
Hold on, let me read it because this is interesting. This is something James would be interested in. Perhaps, in my opinion, this is from Sula, is the lack of vitamins, but more so minerals in the food is causing people to have a brain imbalance. And I do think nutritious food is a big part of a functioning body and mind.
Yeah, you're right. So, in my opinion,
I'm gonna step out. For a minute.
people are very much lacking in things like magnesium, minerals. There are synthetic estrogens in the plastic, so we have a diet that's
Margarine,
deficient.
plastic.
That's deficient in very basic nutrition. It's very basic elements like magnesium, and at the same time we're getting bombarded with endocrine disruptors in the plastics and food dyes. The food dyes that Robert Kennedy took out of they're now outlawing in the United States, removing from the processed foods. Most of the other countries in the world already banned those food dyes.
Yep.
But the same products with the same branding can be sold in other countries except minus those food dyes. And they found a way to market it successfully in other countries, but they were still marketing it in the United States with these objectionable dyes. And it's not just the food dyes. There's a lot of other things that they're using in the food in the U.S. that's not allowed to be used. Like, for instance, we're allowed to feed the pigs in the United States, the hogs, wheat that's been sprayed with glyphosate, straw. And so that's Roundup. And a lot of other countries around the world reject that. They won't eat those hogs. We can't export those hogs to the rest of the world, but we can sell them in the United States. So the processing plants will hold the hogs that have been fed the glyphosate, adulterated product that they sprayed glyphosate, herbicide on the wheat to kill it, to make it dry fast after the crop's been set. And then they harvest it. And then they bale the straw up. And then they give the straw that's been sprayed to the pigs as part of their ration. And as part of and Asia has rejected that. They said, you're not importing those hogs into our country. So therefore the factories hold the stuff that's been sprayed with the Roundup for the American consumer, and they sell the clean stuff overseas.
Yeah, so
I like our beef.
Rambly,
Yeah.
hold on one sec. Let's catch up here. Rambly Cover says hello again. J Boy,
Hey, Rambly.
here's a question for Belus. J Boy, were you planning to or Belus, were you planning to stay in the Philippines before meeting your wife?
No, the reason I moved here was because my wife did not want America. So the reason I moved here, and with my disabilities or whatever, I actually set this house up for a wheelchair. So in the back there, it's set up for an elevator. So yeah, I did not ever dream about living in Southern Asia, or I wasn't attracted to. I was attracted to women, but I was not attracted to Asian women. I've never had a fondness for. It wasn't until I fell in love with my wife that, she brought it all out. And no, I didn't plan it. I do go back to the USA every 1 to 2 years. In fact, if we can get enough done on the farm, I'll go back because I do all the spraying on the farm. So I'll go back to the farm and do all the spraying and it's herbicides, and I know how to dress with the right PPE and stuff. So which kind of gets conflict with my farmers here, but yeah. So no, I wasn't planning on staying here. It just worked out that way. And my wife, been married 5 years. She's yet to go back to the USA. And it's not because she doesn't want to, because she does want to meet my family and stuff. But we just can't trust the farmers yet. So we need to get the managers at a level that we can leave for. I mean, even if we go to Cebu, it's like instant drama, man. So we end up turning around and coming right back within a week. So I have a condo in Cebu, which these guys are invited to stay if you ever go to Cebu.
Yeah, Sula says, I'm not trying to give you grief, Bells, but it's good to hear your honest opinions, guys. Brian says back, Philippines is a beautiful country. Yes, it is. Sula says, I respect your own experience, Bells. Seems it's the trend in the U.S. for sure. I even feel a bit old-fashioned when I go to America. The women are a lot different. Yeah, that's for me. I look at it too. It's not just you're talking about diet and stuff, but it's also media.
It's all
Americans
media.
are so
It's
controlled
media.
by media and
It's
by
the schools.
propaganda.
It's that guy.
It's the schools
Wait,
being
hold on.
brainwashed.
The schools were taken over by the left, the liberals.
I know,
No,
I
hold
know.
on. Where does everything start?
Colleges.
Everything starts in the home, okay? So if you have parents that are brought up a certain way, they're going to bring up their kids a certain way also, even a little bit, probably more liberal or then, because they don't want to look at themselves as being their parents. But the sooner we realize that we're more like, this is based on my life experience, okay? The sooner we realize that we're more like our parents or the way our parents brought us up, and we recognize that fact, then we can make the correct changes that
I
we
resent
might want to
that.
make. But I'm not saying everything, but you become honestly. You become more like.
I am not my dad.
I look at my own kids, and as much as they probably couldn't stand me and they call me the mean dad, I look at my own kids and I realize, you know what? You all are raising your kids kind of the same way I raised you, and you don't realize it, but I realize it because I can stand back as an outside observer and see it. So my point is, everything starts in the home, and when there's a breakdown in the family, a breakdown in the home, there's a breakdown in society.
But the problem is you can't just work one job. You have to work 3 jobs to make a living, and you can't. Your wife can't be a stay-at-home.
Well, they can, but society
We made it.
attacks their self-esteem, a woman's self-esteem, if she decides to be a mother and a stay-at-home mom, and that comes with a lower. You're not going to make the economic threshold where you're going to be middle class or upper middle class anymore if you do that. So it attacks their self-esteem, a woman's self-esteem as a woman and as a mother, and it attacks their sense of self-worth because they have a lot less money. And our society values money now over
everything.
over everything else, and so they sacrifice family because that's what they're being told to do, and then they're being pressured by the culture.
Can I interject? I'm going to interject once again, personal experience, okay? When I was a young man, and I got married at a really young age, and
12.
started having kids at a very young age.
13.
But for the first 10 years of our marriage, now granted I was married, I shouldn't say this, but I was married to a cheater. But anyway, that's
so was
another
I.
part of the story. But But we made this agreement amongst ourselves that she would stay home for the first 10 years while my children were toddlers and getting into school. Once they were into school, then she could go out, she could work part time. And that wasn't something I demanded, it was something we both agreed upon because we felt we didn't want someone else raising our children. Okay? So a lot of people are like, well, yeah, I'm like that too. I don't want someone else raising my kids. They're saying that as they're handing their cell phone to their child as the
Yeah.
babysitter.
Yeah.
So who's raising your children? And we could go down that rabbit hole for all day long
The
too.
algorithm.
But my point is this:
Yeah.
is that we suffered a little. We were poor back then. I was in the army, and then back then in the army, they didn't pay us hardly at all, and it's just crazy. I don't know how. I know how we survived because I've worked 2 jobs. So, but we decided that she would stay home and raise the children because we didn't want somebody else to raise the children.
Are
That's
they
my
there
point.
now?
And we
Are they there
sacrificed
now?
because of
I
that.
think they live in the Philippines.
And
The
Belus
parents?
I
is
don't
trying
think
to
so.
block me out of the picture.
So,
I'm sorry.
so Panay Heart.
But anyway, life's about the decisions, and the decisions you make affect your family and your children's
True,
families
true,
also.
true.
So go ahead. I'm
True
sorry,
that.
guys.
True that.
I didn't mean to take over.
Panay Heart at home says, just to share with you, my stepmom and her father lived long lives from Palumpan, Leyte. They survived World War II by eating corn and root crops there. That made me curious about the lifestyle there.
It's very clean right
Wow.
now. I'll tell you right now because I'm close.
Beautiful.
Beautiful here.
I'm very close to Palumpa and Panay Heart, and it's very clean and it's a safe place. Palumpa in general, as far as the Leyte goes, yeah, it's a good place. They only have one Jollibee, so that tells you how modern it is. It's not very modernized yet, but as the ports grow, it will become Leyte. But Leyte's really back in the 40s still. I mean, as a whole, until you get to Tacloban or Ormoc City, we're way behind the rest of the Philippines as far as modernization goes. Leyte's like living in the 40s. I mean, I live very modern, but I brought it all in, from outside sources. So I probably have the most modern house in.
Yeah, but I was impressed with Tacloban, however you want to say it, and Ormoc, because they're
They're cities.
very modern cities.
Yeah, and they got Robinson Malls.
Yeah,
and,
and the Robinsons was state of the art there. I mean, yeah, I felt perfectly safe there, and I walked outside at nighttime, which I don't a lot at nighttime, but I did there in Tacloban, and even though Belus is telling me, it was in peril, but I was okay around that area, but there's security there. And so, but let me, Brian, you lost me there. You said punch is well above its weight in terms of natural beauty. So I missed a comment somewhere. So explain that to me, brother. Sula says 2 a.m. I'm really enjoying listening to you guys. I cannot go to sleep. And
Thank you,
women
Sula.
were, yeah, thanks, Sula. And she continues, women were sold a lie. That's what's broke, James.
Yep.
In her opinion, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I agree with
James
that.
agrees with that. I agree with that too. And then J Boy says, what's the lie? And Brian, J Boy says, spot on, Brian. Australia banned a lot of that stuff years ago. Yeah, Brian. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah,
I'll just say America's broken.
except for Roundup.
America's
Classic
broken,
bacon.
and everybody doesn't agree with Trump, but I personally agree with him. It's trying to be fixed right now, and
Yeah.
it's trying to be fixed. America's broken. The Philippines might have its problems, but as a local here now, 5 years, I don't see the issues towards the Philippines is not broken. It's still developing and growing in the right direction, and we as a group don't want to see it end up like America, like the UK or like France or Germany or and they did it to themselves. They opened
Yep.
the borders,
Yeah, well, this fall-
and Biden did it to us.
Let me
So,
read. Let me read this. This falls into that. So it says, J Boy, this is talking about the lie. J Boy telling women that you can be a wife, a career woman, raise a family, go to college all at the same time. Doesn't work. Something will break. Basically, telling them they don't need a man or a husband, etc. Something will break. And we see that break in society and kids being raised by the street. And that's what that's exactly right, Sula. That's what I was trying to say. It starts in the home, and when the home breaks down, the whole society ends up breaking down. So you're exactly right on that, in my opinion.
I think we're all in agreement
Yeah,
on that.
Jay Boyce, I agree. Sula, husband and kids get neglected, and core family values slowly erode. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not whining about this. It's just a fact. When my ex started working, even though it was part time and whatnot, although later on she got a career, and it ended up being full time. And then I ended up having to do the role as the mom, even though I was working full time too. And I would come off my shift, and I was making dinner for the kids. I was doing laundry. I was cleaning the house because she demanded that. And then she would just come home whenever she felt like it. And I'm like, well, where you been? You got off at 5 o'clock. It's 7:30 at night. Oh
still
well,
needs therapy.
we went to the we went. You can tell I'm a little bitter. We went to the we went out
I'm
for
his
drinks
therapist.
after work. And I'm like, wait a second, I was never allowed to do that when I
Slow
got
down,
out of
cowboy.
my shift at the prison. What the? But anyway, sorry. Starts at home.
So
Something-
Sula, J
get
Boy
off on
says, I agree, Sula. Husband and kids get neglected, and the core family values slowly
that. Oh,
erode.
that's what I meant.
And if you want a
I
large,
got neglected. Sorry, James.
if you want to, zoom
Yes,
out a
ma'am.
little bit, it's all part of a plan to reverse Western values. And
It is. It is in conservative values.
Yeah.
Conservative Christian values, if you want to. And so everybody knows I was a child from a broken marriage, and I'm the one that was pushed out. So my grandparents raised me, so I carry my grandparents' values, which my grandma was a Catholic, devout Catholic, and I went to a Holy Name Catholic school, and so I think, and your father, Colonel, was a Christian priest, right?
Chaplain. Yeah.
Chaplain, and then James was brought up Catholic, so we're all
Missionary.
we're all very much hold that Christian value. So that's why the only one we're missing is Gino, right, Colonel? We're only like
Yeah.
last night we were talking. We're just missing Gino, he's just pretty much our brother. Gino's just pretty much like us. So
Yeah.
Panay Heart at Home says, my stepmom lived until 94. Her father lived until 96. That's here in Plum Plum.
oh, okay,
So that's a good environment. You see, even
yeah.
Sula says, that's understandable, Belus. You need to know you can go without hiccups on your land. Okay.
Well, that's why so I go home for 2 to 4 months and do farm and ranch in Wyoming and chores there, and then my wife pretty much babysits the farms here. So you'll see some of that tomorrow live. We're going to do live from the farms today. We're going to hit Booga Booga Mountain and do some. They're drying rice today because the valley's out of rice. So what we do is we farm rice and provide it to the valley, which is the barangay, at a way lesser cost.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to pay 50 pesos to go to town, 50 pesos to come back, just to get 1 bushel of rice that costs 85 pesos. So yeah, we provide a service for the valley. So we're very well liked, and I contribute that to our security. So go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just was looking down through the comments, and J Boy's like, not long, Brian. That's a blueprint, Panay Heart at Home. But then Sula says, J Boy, some women are more concerned about getting Botox and handbags
Yeah.
than their kids.
And
Say,
their
man.
lips that stick out to here.
And if they have any kids, now they're thinking ahead, and they're thinking
No.
having kids will get in the way of the Botox and the handbag. So we're just not going to have any kids. And then the politicians are like, well, we're going to have to throw the borders open and bring a whole new people in here. And then everybody's like, what happened to America?
And there actually is a female blogger in the Philippines who came back home who has been westernized, and I've seen her a few times. I'm not going to mention names, but she has already been westernized, and she came in and she was bad-mouthing the age gap and bad-mouthing the
I know what you're
Philippines
talking
and all that, and I was just like rolling. I was just like rolling over on it, and she's been on other people's collaborating, and she's just, when you come here, you leave the West, man.
Yeah, I saw that. I
You
saw her
leave it.
collaborating.
You leave it at home.
I saw her picking on the age gap, and then you get these beta
Good
males.
Lord,
they got their
man.
lips attached to her rear end, and that's why the world is in the shape it's in.
Yeah.
The guys want to get a few more subs. I don't want those people subbing me.
No.
I don't want them.
no,
Go
it's-
sub the other guys, the beta guys that got their lips attached to that girl's rear end. Because I ain't kissing up.
You're
to that.
not gonna find any passport bros
No.
in this group.
Long
you
live,
know.
long live the benevolent patriarchy.
Yeah, Sola says, yes, makes you feel like you're less than for raising your family, which is the most important job any parent has more than any job.
And I've noticed,
Sola,
though-
I don't want to ask your age, but you're sure you're not my mom? 'Cause
So,
She sounds like my
You
Irish
sound just
mom.
like my mom, man.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
I'm seeing James. I'm seeing it. So
That's where I want to go back home.
Going way back to the old dog and these older vloggers. Mike came in later, but the old dog's a pretty famous YouTuber, and all these guys. Now, guess who's moving in now? The young silver spoon leftist liberal vloggers.
See, we got
They're
good-
moving in to
Oh,
the
I-
YouTube world.
Yeah.
Are they? And they're actually doing pretty well. But I do watch a Russian. He's a draft dodger because if you're of age in Russia, you're on
Yeah.
the front line. He come here from Thailand, and he's like, oh, we're gonna do a business here, and I comment, I'm like, bro, you cannot do business here. He didn't even have unless you marry into the
Yeah.
in the country. He had a wife already, and I'm like, and then yesterday's video was, I got scammed out of all this money, and I'm leaving the Philippines, and badmouthing when I warned him, right on his vlog,
Yeah.
But people don't understand it. We're never going to be Filipino. We're never going to be local. James, myself, and the Colonel, we will never be, and we're fine with that. We're fine as being, the guests of the Philippines, contributing what we can to the Philippines. But you get these guys that they're just going to want to take over, and the Philippines won't have it. They won't have it. You cannot own land here. You can only own 40% of a
Yep.
corporation.
Yep.
I wish and pray America goes back to that,
So,
to where
I keep telling
Chinese.
everybody
I-
I'm Filipino,
I-
but they say I don't look the part. I don't understand.
I was a member of a very big American outdoor and forum, and
That's
I
what
got thrown
like
off the
about it.
forum. I got in a big battle with these guys because they're all like, America, rah, rah. I'm like, hey, I'm in the Philippines, and I'm seeing something here. We're not as advanced as we think we are, because in the Philippines, they don't let foreign countries come in and buy all their land.
Right.
They don't let tycoons come in and dispossess everyone. How is that different from the old Soviet communism? It's really not what we got going on in the U.S. now.
Yeah.
So we sell our companies and our farmland to let
We're
other countries come in
sellouts,
and
man.
buy.
You got
They're
communism.
sellouts, and they're not doing that here in the Philippines.
Communism's
Philippines has more patriotism for their own country and their own people than
Look at
Americans
New York's
have.
a prime example.
Communism is surging.
New York's a
in the US.
prime example, yeah, and it's a leftist thing, and they're trying to pull communism, just like Islamism and everything else. They're really trying to destroy. They're trying to make America France and UK, and then you have the conservatives in America, and they're seeing the UK, and they're seeing all of Europe fall to pieces. Europe's about to fall apart.
It's flying apart right
And
now.
and we have a very conservative leader right now, and he's like, not here, man, not here. And, if he don't care, our leader in America, the big T, he don't care, man. He'll stomp out drugs. He don't care. He'll go right into Mexico, into Venezuela, into Colombia. He don't care. He is so destined.
And the truth of it is, when he's going in the heart of Venezuela and he's taking out the cartels in Mexico, he's taking out the real power base of the Democrat Party in the United States. by doing
Yes,
that.
yes,
But
yes.
that's where they get their power from. They get their power from these leftist foreign regimes.
And the money, the oil money and stuff.
From the CCP in China.
Yes,
they're
he shut 'em
they're
down.
selling us out. That's where they get their money from, and then they don't play by the rules. They bring when they lose an election, well, and they've got the administration. They just grant a bunch of visas to what do you call them? Refugee visas to people in other countries, and then they bring them into the voting districts they want to tip, and they tip whole states.
So look at this beautiful. You got the Three Amigos or whatever. I don't really like that name, but you got the Three Musketeers here, and look at behind the Colonel. This is what we come for. Look at that jungle, behind the
I
Colonel.
wish I could see out front.
Yeah.
Turn the camera
Well, I
on.
can turn it. We can actually flip around if you guys want to and show them that view.
Just turn the screen around so that for a second.
Well, here's my view. So this is my. I'll give you a very. Give me 5 seconds. I'm gonna flip the camera.
While he's doing that, I'll do this.
This is my roof deck viewing area. So when I first came here, I was almost wheelchair. So this is my top roof garden. And yeah, that's my view every morning. The sun sets over there. We just have this to block the sun right now. But
Jay Boy said Panay Heart at home. That's why I want to go back home, live a healthy and good life. So the algorithm 100%. Panay Heart, exactly. Jay Boy, my stepmom has no vaccine at all. Panay Heart at home, and then she won't even go to medical doctors. Sula says, I agree, Colonel. And what happens at home is more important to try to keep a family.
Yeah,
bond.
yeah. So let me
I
say-
tried, Sula.
Let me say something.
I
They used to
really
have a
tried.
saying: "The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world,"
There you go.
and it's still true. But you don't hear that saying anymore.
I feel.
Don't forget
Sula
that.
says I feel very opinionated in here. I hope you don't kick me out. So your opinion is pretty much basically our
Yeah.
opinion. We're all, I think, on the same page. We might have some different nuances, but the bottom line, the fundamentals are we fundamentally all believe the same thing.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, I tell James, we start talking about spiritual things. Fundamentally, we're Christians, and we believe about Jesus Christ and what He did to save the world. So fundamentally, you're not offending us at all. You might offend some people that are watching this, but so be it. Everybody's channel is not for everybody. That's why certain people follow our channels and certain people don't. And good riddance to them if they don't want to.
And even
and I'm not getting in that, and I'm not bringing up names, but you all know who you are when you watch this.
well, we got.
There's a spirit of nihilism that's destroying the West. There's people that would rather just get high and listen to the music and look the other way while it all burns. And then there's some of us that are like, wait a minute, I'm not going down
But why
without,
are we
figuratively, I'm not going down without, saying something about it.
So
I'm
why-
not going to look the other way.
so
I'm calling
why-
it out.
So why are we here if we need to be there to fight that battle? Why are we here?
The information war, man.
Okay.
And you can fight the information war has gone global because of the internet and the satellites and the information age.
Well, if it gets down to brass tacks and lead,
The brass tacks
are
and
you
lead,
going
if
back?
America is going to continue to exist, we need to hold Southeast Asia, okay?
Yeah.
Because if we don't hold
As a whole.
if we don't hold that first island chain, if we let Korea, Taiwan, Japan, Philippines, and then Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, they'll be in California before long. I mean, it might be a generation
It's
away,
they're already
and we
there.
can just get drunk and we can pretend everything's okay, and I'm okay, you're okay, and I want to be happy, or we can fight back. We can call the decay out and say
It's really
Merle
the C-
Haggard said, "Stop rolling downhill like a snowball heading for hell."
It's a CC. It's really like communism is a CCP and Russia's social. Now it just doesn't work. Socialism in Russia and it just doesn't work. History tells us that by the collapse of the USSR, the collapse of the Soviet Union, and
It doesn't work for the
just doesn't
few.
work.
I mean, it doesn't work for the many, but it does work for the few.
Yeah,
For
well,
the few, it works.
it works for a little. Doesn't work for indefinite time.
Well,
though.
they end up sometimes they end up
Venezuela.
like Ceausescu, but
Yeah. Go ahead, Colonel. I know you want to pipe in here.
Well, I just want to get us. We're so far behind on the chat.
Okay, go ahead. Let's
get
answer
caught
some
up.
comments.
We get off on our tangent. Panay Hart is talking about her stepmom. She passed away in 2021 because of COVID, which that's sad.
Very.
And Sula, they lived to a great age. Stone Cold's back. He said we need female perspective on the chat. Sula, Panay Hart give a nice balance. Yes, they do, and it's much appreciated because we got to keep these two guys in balance for sure. I'm the only balanced. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, J Boy says, yeah, I agree. This is a nice balance conversation with Sula and Panay Hart at home. That's probably because we're not talking about spiritual things, because then people start. I'm better just to be quiet about that. PH from Brian. Sula, wow, Colonel, I agree. One rule for the women and another for the man. A man wouldn't be allowed to drink with the boys after work. Good point. Yeah, that used to irritate me to no end, Sula. And I brought that up to her after she started working for this eye surgeon, and he would take him out. And she didn't have an answer. She just kind of looked at me like, because I'm special and you're not. Okay, whatever. That sadly ended in divorce because she basically kicked me out of the house. But that's a long story. Thanks, J-Boy. That's nice of you. Thanks, Stone Cold from Sula. Gino was here before from Brian. I'm here, Gino. I'm here. Gino's here.
All right.
Thanks, Gino,
Thanks,
for
Gino.
sticking around. Appreciate you, because you're also a balance for all of us. And
In the morning.
you keep our feet on the ground, brother. Appreciate it.
Coffee with Gino. Dazzle
Brian said,
TV.
LOL, I'm outnumbered. So is it Belus. It's a pity she got the brainwashing. Yeah, it's a shame. Jay, well, also important point is religion. Without a mother holding down the home, the family could detach from religion and further erode society. But you know what, Jay Boy, what I'm going to say to that, this may be controversial, shame on the man for that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the woman holding
Yeah.
down the spiritual life in the family. That's the man's job,
Exactly.
according to God.
Exactly.
And the Bible teaches that the man is the head of the home.
That's right.
And the man, not the woman. And that's the problem in America now.
Yep.
Who's the head of a home in America? It's the women.
Yeah.
Shame on the men. And you know what? We're going to be judged for that. And we're being judged in real life right now for that. But I don't want to get down. We can go down that rabbit hole in a little bit. But let's catch up in the chat. I'm in my 40s, Colonel. Well, Solo, I won't hold that against you. I mean, good for you, youngster. I still like you. It's all good. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Please don't anybody take that. I'm not flirting with her.
We can throw something.
Heaps of Russians moved into PH in Thailand over the last 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian, I lived in Thailand
Yeah,
when that exodus occurred out of Russia, and they took over the island of Phuket, especially down on the southern tip of Rawai, where I liked to live, and I lived twice. We call Phuket, Thailand, Little Moscow now. I mean, the Russian mafia already controlled Patong, whether people realize it or not.
But wouldn't we rather
crazy.
those guys dodge the draft and get the heck out of there rather than
Yeah, because they're on our side.
Yeah.
They are like,
opinion
as
on
much as I disagree with it, because I'm pro-Ukrainian, you know.
But if they get out of there and they're
Yeah,
not going to the
now
east, the
in
front.
2018 I was doing the whole Ukraine thing when I was doing my YouTube thing, but it was supported from the right and YouTube supported from the left. So they basically destroyed me for supporting Ukraine. Now the left supports Ukraine, so it's like backwards. Now
Yeah.
my YouTube's booming and everything, and I was always with Ukraine. You know, I never left since 2014. They say, "Oh, this war just started." No, this war's been going since 2014. So, but yeah, it's just crazy how the world works. But I wanted to pipe up about the little gal here that's 40 something years old.
Sula,
Zula.
from Ireland.
Well, Zula from Ireland, my wife was 43 when I married her here, a strong conservative Catholic, and I'll tell you what, she's considered an old maid in Asia. She is so far from that. I hate how people, especially how women are branded here. You know, they're branded in Asia as
Leftover women.
and it's partially communism.
I'm
You know,
not
in China and stuff. There, you know, a woman in her 30s is an old maid.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
call them leftover women, and that's
It is
because of the utilitarian
pathetic.
view of human life the communists have.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
But go back with
Okay,
the girl.
Sula, just answer me. Should I move back to the mother country? Should I go back to Ireland? I don't know. I might fit in better there. Well, I don't know. I fit in real well here in the Philippines, but as opposed to American. But anyway, go ahead, James, real quick.
The right of return in Ireland used to be your grandparents. You could chain migrate back if your grandparents were there. But now they're taking refugees from alien cultures that are hostile to Ireland's
Yes.
values. Over if a person of Irish descent,
They're
I'm half,
about in war
I'm half,
right now.
wants to go back.
Yeah.
Where my
They're
great grandparents came from, I can't do that. They won't let me.
They're
but they'll
almost
let
in
people that
civil
hate
war
God and
right
country
now.
enter their country.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go down.
I'm mad.
They're
But,
almost so the UK, Germany, Ireland. We are almost seeing civil war there between the locals. UK is really hot right now. I mean, it's finally wake up and smell the roses. Now the people have, but at this point it's too late. They've already opened the doors, just like what Biden did. He opened the doors to America, you know. And what Trump's doing is he's freeing Venezuela. So all of the Venezuela, when Venezuela booms, all of the Venezuela refugees, they're all going to go back to Venezuela. They want a free country. They're not going to stay in America. Why would they?
No.
You know, they're all going to go back. So he's basically way ahead of it. He's like 3 steps ahead of everybody. Go ahead with comments.
Okay, so Sula says, J-Boy, I totally agree. Mom is the heart of the home. She keeps the family together, and the father needs to be respected.
I'll be back, guys. I'm going to
and
refill.
the head of the household, the
I'm gonna
way
refill,
it used
James.
to be, was a good way of life. Sula, I'm assuming that you have a
I will
very
be
happy
back.
husband.
Move
And,
on up there, Colonel.
Sula has a boyfriend
Move
from
up there,
Missouri.
Colonel.
oh, from Missouri?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that he's a very happy individual. If not, I'm in the Philippines. I won't say any more than that. Although I like Asian
I gotta
men.
fill my cup.
Yeah, yep, so I know where I would be. That's from Brian.
You
J
got
Boy,
one
you
Coke
guys
or
should
something?
do a political
Sure,
channel
Coke would be
where
great, yeah.
you all can do joint
You want me to go
live
get it?
streams.
No, I can
This
do
is
it. Oh, I
awesome.
get it.
J Boy's liking y'all's conversation.
Thanks, J-Boy.
Yeah, you know, J Boy,
He's
I'll let Belus and James do that, because if I start talking about political stuff, you know, I interject too much of my opinion, and I'm pretty
You know what,
hardcore to the right.
I really appreciate that, J-Boy, because it's a conversation we need to have to heal our countries and the world. We need to fix this stuff, you know, at the grassroots level. Politicians aren't going to do it. The church is not going to do it because the priests are scared to tell people. They won't tell people in the homily. The preachers are too, for the most part. So the clergy aren't going to do it. The politicians aren't going to do it. Real change, real healing is going to come from we the people. men and women with convictions, fearless, courageous people to stand forward and just tell the truth. Because telling
well, real healing comes from God, who imparts it on the people,
the truth,
and then it's what we do with it is
Veritas.
what's important. Yeah. So Sula says, "Are you in the Philippines?" At Brian, and Jay Bush says, "Sula, because they are welcomed in the Philippines." Absolutely. The Philippines is a very welcoming country, and I'm just going to say this, and y'all that are living in Thailand can get mad at me because I lived in Thailand just like you, if you're watching, and you know what? I'm sorry, but I didn't feel welcome there. I really didn't. At first I did, but as I saw realities of the realities, just like the same thing will happen here in the Philippines. I'll start seeing things from a different perspective. However, at this point right now, after 2 years and 2 months, or whatever it is, I still feel very welcome here. Anytime I went to immigration in Thailand, I did not feel welcome. I'll just leave that for what it is. Sula says, "We're trying to keep our island together. We've taken in the most migrants in the whole of Europe per capita. It's a shame. There's riots all over Europe due to criminals entering and causing havoc, ruins." Yeah, so we could talk all day about what's going on in Europe, and it's not going to change anything.
What's striking to me is what happened in Ireland. What happened from the Michael Collins's generation that fought for independence from Britain, and they got the English boot off their neck, because there was a point where Catholics weren't even allowed to own land. They weren't allowed to. Their children weren't allowed to own land unless they converted to Church of England or something.
Yeah.
And so they overthrew the English yoke, and somehow along the way the IRA got twisted into, from Michael Collins's nationalism, a responsible kind of nationalist movement, to some kind of a Marxist movement that now morphed into the EU. How did they end up joining the EU? How did you go from conservative, God and country Michael Collins into, we're going to join the EU, we're going to tear the Catholic Church down, and we're going to throw the borders open to anybody who wants to come here that's not Irish?
Well, that's what I was going to. It's that.
What happened?
I was going to ask, is that because of the influence of the Catholic Church? But I just wanted.
No.
I just wanted to say that to be
inflammatory. The Catholic Church got infiltrated during the Vatican II era.
I'm just messing with you, Jay.
They're in there. The enemy, the smoke of Satan, the Pope himself said, John the 23rd, I believe, said the smoke of Satan is in the church. Or maybe it was Paul VI.
There is so much. You guys have to understand. I say stuff sometimes to people. I don't really feel that way. I just like to instigate sometimes. I like to get James going because
slow down, cowboy.
He gets riled up. And I just kind of sit back like the little, like in high school, the kid sitting in the back row that's instigating between two people. It's great. But anyway, that's my point in life, my sense of humor. Okay, so Panay Hart says there is so much corruption here in California. Wow, we could stop right. And I hope they start investigating all the fraud. I've reported some issues to the auditor's office, but I don't know if we'll ever find out. Yeah, I hear you. No, Sula, Australia. Careful. Brian's in Australia. Sula, ruins are for genuine people that really need asylum. Don't you hate that, Sula, when you're typing a chat on YouTube and you accidentally hit the one thing that sends the message when you weren't done? It happens to me all the time. But anyway, Brian, fundamentally an atheist. Well, Brian, I'd just say that there's no atheists in foxholes.
Look, Brian, Thomas Jefferson was a deist. Benjamin Franklin was, I think, essentially an atheist. But they did not have a problem with. They were the first ones to admit that we were agnostic. America was founded by a group of guys that weren't all Christian, but they did agree on Christian values. Okay, the basis of our civilization, historically speaking, even if you don't believe in the religion, it's the Mosaic Law. It's the Greek and the Roman concept of law. The Greeks, the Roman concept of law, and then the Judeo-Christian values. From the Jewish values, we got the Ten Commandments, and then from the Christians, we got the Golden Rule, and that's what created the beautiful things in our modern world. Whether you are a religious person or not, you have to look at history and context and realize the contribution that Christianity made.
Some of my best friends are atheists.
Yeah, even Benjamin Franklin with some of the godless ideas that he had and his personal feelings. When they would get together and they would meet for their Congress meetings or whatever they were calling themselves in, he even recognized the fact in one of his statements when they were arguing back and forth. Ben Franklin even admitted, "Hey, look, we've always had prayer before we make decisions on things. We've done it." And Franklin was not a man of prayer. But he said, why should we change that now?
Exactly.
Let's just keep doing. It hasn't hurt us in forming this country, so let's keep doing what we're doing. Even though he himself
Those
personally
guys-
didn't believe in it.
Those guys, Brian, are a great model for us today because they were a very diverse lot. They had very diverse religious opinions. There were
Yep.
even 6 Catholics that signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, that
But
explains
there were
it.
Protestants,
That
there were
explains it all.
Catholics, there was
I'm kidding.
Maryland, I think, had Catholic
sorry.
as the state religion. But
I'm
and there
sorry.
were deists, there were agnostics, and they made that U.S. Constitution, the Declaration that came together to fight off the British Empire and for freedom, and they formed a consensus that I think we can look to that as an example. The world can look to that as an example, and America strayed from that. Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, George Washington, they would be ashamed of what we've become.
Yeah, okay. Sula says, Panay, what's going on there? J-Boy gives a thumbs up. And Brian says, what do you mean, hold? Sula says, I think you told me that you're in Australia before, Brian. I can't keep up, sorry. Sula, I'm the same. I can't keep up with half this stuff. No worries, Sula, Brian said. J-Boy, that's because the younger generations have it too easy. So easy for them to preach political correctness.
Yeah, partially that's very much true because soft times make soft men.
Right.
The guys that did
Yes.
the great things.
There is a saying about
Yeah,
that.
there. Yep.
And then wheat, you want me to back
And then the weak soft men give it all away with their
Here's your safety.
the rise and fall of civilizations. We've just gotten too soft, and they're.
Thank you. Oh yeah, my satanic drink. I better hide that from you.
You better hide that from the
So-
algorithm, man. We don't want to be talking
So
about things
anyway,
like that.
Sula, let's see. Sula says, Panay Hart says that Sula a lot. There's so much money for education in California, but it isn't even being used properly. There are many things that I can't even obtain public records. Sketchy. As a former federal employee, I just want to say this. I used to be proud to be a federal employee, and I used to think that we weren't corrupt like some of these other quote-unquote third world countries. But as I look back on it, and as we're seeing things, especially with the last presidential administration, there's so much corruptness in the U.S. now. It's
There's so much
pathetic and
corruption
so much
here,
bad.
too,
But the
though.
sad part of it was always there. We just didn't open our eyes to it, and that's what makes me angry. Is my eyes were not open to it. I wasn't, because I didn't want to admit it. You know, now myself, no, I wasn't corrupt. Ain't no way. I fought against that. But anyway.
But I
moving
want to pipe in here, Colonel.
Go ahead.
And James, I know James loves the Philippines and everything to a massive. I mean, he's right at home here, and he ditches on the corruption, the big corporate corruption in America, which he knows that too, which I know too. But it's everywhere. There's plenty of corruption to go around the world, and there's corruption here too. Now maybe James hasn't seen it yet, but he will.
There's 2 kinds of corruption, though, Belus.
Okay.
In the U.S., we've got all corruption is evil, but some is more evil than others. We've got an ideological corruption where people are pushing ideology.
Yeah, ideology.
Here they're trying they're trying to get a new truck, or they're trying to pay for their kids' education, or they're trying to get a piece of land. But in America and in the West, we've got people that are they're literally they have an ideology they want to push.
Yeah.
And their corruption and their money, some of these billionaires with these NGOs they're there to push their
corporations.
ideology. The
Yeah.
corporations are there to make a profit, but even ideology has infiltrated the corporations to some extent.
Yeah. Very
And
much.
and
the colleges.
there's an element that deliberately seeks to destroy the American middle class.
What cracks me up is you got the leftists saying every time a conservative gets elected, I'm leaving the country, and then Biden gets elected, and we do leave the country. The conservative. I actually came here when Biden was elected.
Me too.
You know? So
Me
it's
too.
like,
And that was part of the equation.
we don't talk about it. We actually act. You know, we act. We don't even talk about it. We just leave. It's just like, I'll deal with that in 4 years.
Yeah, we don't talk.
Yeah.
We talk, but we're way more action than talk.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
True story.
Check this out. Here in Panay Hart says, here in California, I just cut you guys off. Apologies. But somebody's got to moderate these two. Here in California, you see signs saying undocumented immigrants are welcome, or I should say illegal aliens. Funding goes to them while citizens can't access the same support.
And that
irritates the hell out of me.
It's
Yeah,
really-
especially with veterans.
If you look at it from these ideological guys I'm talking about, it makes sense because you're dividing the people. You're giving people that just came in, you're letting them cut in line, even though they're not entitled. You're giving them the benefits, and you're not giving. So you're creating a divide and conquer scenario where now you've got two sides. It's the Hegelian dialectic. They create the problem and then they offer a solution. It's their solution, and that's what these politicians and these ideologues are doing to us.
Go ahead with the
With
comments.
affirmative action, which was never intended to be that. But they turned affirmative action as something that it wasn't intended to be.
Yeah, they use
and
it
became
man
evil.
against woman, white against black,
Yeah,
Hispanic
it was
against
never
all
intended-
the others, everything, and it's
The
deliberate.
actual law or statute was not written that way.
And then the
That's
founding
way they interpreted
fathers wrote extensively about the dangers of faction. They called it the dangers of faction. And if you look at who's tearing our country down, they're always trying to create faction. They're always trying to drive a wedge. And that by handing out benefits to people that are coming in illegally
That's totally
in front of the
absurd.
people that are there, they do two things. They empower those people, the new people, they get their vote, and then they make the people that are there mad.
Minnesota.
So then they call you a racist or something when you overreact. So they're wanting you to overreact.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to say, oh, these guys are just a
Minnesota.
bunch of bad racists. And that's not what it is at all. The thing is, they've been neglected. With their own money's been taxed from them, and then they're giving it to someone else. Well, they're being, they're withering on the vine. The middle class is withering on a vine, and it's a strategy. It's a divide and conquer
It's
strategy.
but it's getting to the breaking point where all that's.
We're not citizens anymore. They've turned us
It's-
into subjects
it's
by
coming to a
dividing us
head.
against each other.
Yeah, it's coming to a head, and that's where you get Trump going to Venezuela. He's not got the war on drugs when it's in America. He's going right to
Yeah.
the source.
Absolutely.
He doesn't care anymore.
100%.
And that's actually,
And-
I heard a
And
prophecy.
clawing back the money.
I heard a prophecy about a guy in a red hat. I don't know. Have you heard that?
Okay, well, let me interject
okay.
on that note. Nikki Evans, this is for Belus. Hi, Belus. How are you doing? See, you got all your company. I'm going to sit back and listen. This is Nikki from Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Yeah, I met you yesterday when the little gal from Bahal called me gay.
Okay.
The little worker gal.
All right. Sula says an older lady is more mature and has more life experience of life. Bella said your wife is a lovely woman, and Colonel won't flirt with me because I'm in my 40s. That's fun.
He flirts with 40s. I've seen him at the farm.
Karen's third grade teacher.
My one ex-wife was in her 40s. All right, I know you're just having fun, Sula, but I'm having fun with you too. You seem like a lovely lady, and we appreciate you being here. All joking aside, thank you. And thanks for your words. It's helping the chat greatly.
I don't know if I know
At
that
Panay,
one
they are
or not.
importing their voter base, apparently.
exactly.
Absolutely. It's exactly what they're doing.
Well, and then they flood them. Biden opens the gates, and
Yeah,
it's
Panay-
just a total mess. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they don't check the ID here during the election. Isn't that crazy? It is crazy.
Everywhere where they need to affect the change, where they
It's
need,
coming,
they need
bro.
to tip it, they don't check the ID.
Change
Yeah,
is on
J-Boy,
the way.
No ID voting is insane. Yep, at J-Boy, it's from Panay Hart. This is why we still have the same governor.
Yeah,
This is what
I
you're
know. I
talking about
can't.
California.
I can't speak for the blue.
They're trying to make
states.
him president.
Yeah.
They're trying
Can
to
you
make
believe
Gavin
that?
Yeah,
New-
that's
Yeah,
sad.
Gavin Newsom president.
Because they don't have a better alternative.
Yes,
Are you gonna make Mandami president?
probably. They
And
probably
Michelle-
They'll probably try to make
Michelle
him
or Michael
Oh,
don't want to run.
AOC.
Yeah,
They're gonna
AOC.
run AOC.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
but if
run.
you put-
And if she wins, she won't run nothing. There'll be a shadow government
Oh,
behind.
Biden didn't run
But if
anything
you put
really.
Michelle in there, is it going to be the first?
Don't say
president.
that stuff, man. Don't go there. The
Okay.
algorithm will smash
Oh,
us.
shoot, I just lost everything. See, that's payback.
Okay.
Hold on one second. I got to
You
get.
don't want to end up like Joan Rivers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was
See, you
something
told me
else.
not to go there.
Don't get Joan Rivers, man.
Hold on. Are we on yours or Bell?
I will tell you that
lost
too.
the stream here.
Because we got a couple gals
Oh, my
here
goodness.
from Cali or
Somebody take it
or
down.
whatever. Don't really be careful in California. As far as you're standing up, because you're dominated by liberalism, and if you are conservative, and just be careful what you do.
This Belus, yeah.
And if you don't like California, don't be scared to leave, because I have a lot of Panays
Yeah.
and Filipino friends
See?
from Arizona, and you can out of California. There is life after California.
See, they tried to
So
kick me off
please
like
do
that.
migrate east from California and off that west coast, and you'll find more of your people there. I have many Filipino friends in Wyoming, in my hometown. Many in Arizona. New Mexico is blue, but there are conservative places in America, like Wyoming and like other places. Montana's kind of being overrun, but that you can migrate to and get, and get out of that. And you can always retire back here, if you want.
Yeah, we're so far behind, guys.
Go ahead. Okay, we're going to catch up on the comments.
They kicked me off the stream here. I had to get it back, but
Go ahead.
okay,
Colonel.
I'm back where
Just
we're
fly
at.
through them.
I
I don't know if we're going to
okay.
make Booga Booga Mountain now.
Yeah, okay.
Because we got to do the. I love it,
ID,
though. Caroline's
right,
like,
okay.
are you guys fighting? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
let's debate.
Yeah, but Jay boy, this is why we still have the same. Okay, we read that. Yes, James, I feel so sick to my stomach about our history. This is from Sula, and now being told Ireland is not for the Irish. Sovereignty is bad. We are neutral. We are not. We didn't vote to be in Europe.
Stand
Europe
up,
is
Ireland.
full.
That's
I'll
all
tell
I
you
can
what,
say.
Sula, there's room for you in the Philippines.
And stand up for Ireland.
I mean, I got room in my house. If you need a place to hang out, and you want to change. But anyway, hunger strikers would be turned
Absolutely,
into graves.
Sula.
Yeah,
Absolutely. The left came in and co-opted the IRA, for God's sake. Michael Collins was a very conservative, God and country kind of guy. The guys that came after him, Michael Collins, I think they killed him. The left killed Michael Collins in the IRA.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't radical enough. Because the Bolshevik left killed Michael Collins.
That's hilarious, Brian. He says the average blood pressure in this live just got to 190 over 105. I'm medicated, Brian, so my blood pressure is on an even
We went
keel.
from heavy coffee to Coca-Cola and
Yeah,
Monster.
we're getting to that in the chat. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up to that. Jay Boy says Riled Up James is the best version. I love it. Jay Boy says LOL Brian. Sula at Panay, that's really difficult and a lot of people are unaware. Or as James says, turns a blind eye. And James is right. We do turn a blind eye. We're all guilty sometimes. Even if not religious, the traditions and the community and the way of life that came with it.
Yes.
That's from Sula. Panay Hart says, I was surprised. I'm sorry I'm going fast, folks. We're trying
No,
to
go
catch
ahead,
up.
catch up.
I was surprised that my husband and I received Medi-Cal insurance, even though we never applied. We're worried that we are getting charged for something that we aren't aware of. Isn't that the truth?
You are
I'd look
being
into
charged,
that.
so you know.
Yeah, you're getting charged one way or another.
To
also.
something.
When you're paying some of those outrageous taxes in California, you're being charged. Brian, my BP is up now. That's funny. So relax, Sula. What was that move? Fusha or whatever. Okay, Brian said, LOL, it's Sula. J Boy, I see James is having normal Coke and not Coke Zero. Explains why he's more riled up today.
I could have grabbed him a Red Bull, too.
I'm trying to convert him that the chemicals. See, I used to do Coke Zero because I thought, get away from sugar. But the chemicals are in Coke Zero is just as bad, so
It's
I figure I
actually
might as well
better
go
here.
back to the sugar.
Coke is healthier
Yeah,
with
it's
no
got pure
sugar.
sugar in it. Yeah.
So let's see. I see. Yeah, that's right. The Coke over here has less sugar in it, but it tastes great.
It has real sugar.
I would love to be there with you now, chatting in person. Come on, Sula. I'll give
I
up
tried
my,
to drag my local
Listen,
up here.
I'm the gentleman. I will give up my chair for you. Not a problem.
I tried to get Jerson to come up, and he shied out.
Ted from Behold says, welcome, Ted. They need to reintroduce Wolves back to Sacramento. I'm not going to comment, Ted. I want to say something to that, but I'm not going to.
I think
as
Ted
long as
might
they're
be
not a certain
moderator.
type, as long as they're not a certain type of wolf, you'll be okay. If it's a certain type of wolf, then they'll just lay down beside certain people and be happy.
They need to bring bears. They need to reintroduce some bears, man. They're protecting them bears up in Montana and in Wyoming.
Montana's becoming liberalized, too. It's turning blue.
Yeah.
Why don't they reintroduce them to L.A.?
Yeah.
Panay Hart says we're worried
Well, they
that
got
we
the
could
coup
end up
going.
owing the state a lot of money
Pathetic.
without even knowing it.
There's
This is
22
why
long
we need
rifles.
to move back to the. Well, come on, Panay
I
Hart.
got my 17
Come
now.
on, girl. Come
Two
on back.
17 sniper rifles.
Sula says that Taz got the smart laugh. And J Boy with Sugar Rush, yeah. Sula says Panay. At Panay, that's kind of cooking the books, putting insurance. Absolutely, that's what they're doing.
Yep.
They want to ensure the result, and that's what Biden was trying to do too. And Obama trying to ensure that the Democrats would be in control, but enter someone in a red hat.
They did it
for a
in
little
Minnesota.
bit, threw a wrench into it.
They did it. man.
Panay Hart, what made
Oh,
me
they
upset
take
is that they had me
child
sign a contract
care
for my
centers.
child to receive government funding, but my child never actually received those services because what was provided was different from what I signed. It sounds about right. And in between there, Jay Boy interject, your eyes is not open because you're living a pretty good life. Same thing happens here in Australia. There's massive corruption, but nobody cares as long as their property prices go up. And Jay Boy, that's a good point. We become ambivalent to things when it doesn't affect us directly. And that's why James asked me about, or people ask Russia and Ukraine, like, I don't care. because it's not affecting me directly that I feel it. If it was affecting me directly, I'd have a stronger opinion like they do. But that's the way that's the way we are as human beings.
You go there, you get affected.
Yeah, Vegas will. What's going on? Politics again for Vegas will. I'm trying to keep them out of the politics, Vegas will, but sometimes I get pulled into whatever. That Panay, that sounds complicated to navigate, and where do you even begin to sort this? I hope no one has stolen your identity and setting up things in your name, or setting things up in your name. Brian says, one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb to me when listening to Americans is just how polarized you are. The talk always goes to left or right. And from the outside, it really looks like you are.
Yeah, we are polarized.
We
it's
are,
true.
Brian, and we've.
Sad but true.
There are those that have turned against our own culture and our own history, and they want to replace it. So there are those of us that are going to resist that to our core being. We're going to resist it.
Yeah, Sula, Ted, rewarding cheaters and outlaws. Sula brings up a good point again. Yes, divide and conquer, keep everyone fighting while they bring new laws into place. Yep. Isn't that the truth? And then we're like, how'd that happen? Well, because we were bickering and infighting.
Yeah, they got smoke screens.
Fighting against the right people. We're fighting against each other instead of fighting against the government. And people forget the right to bear arms was not about what everybody tries to make it about today. It was about keeping the government in check.
Yeah,
the material capacity to resist tyranny. That's what it was about.
But everybody's too scared because of the weight, in America anyway, the weight of the
I don't know about that.
No, hold on. The weight of the federal government will be brought to bear against you. And I'm sorry, I don't have nuclear capabilities and things like that. I might have a lot of things that I can hold in my hands to fight back, but I don't have the capabilities, and that's where the federal government, know that.
As far as your political,
I don't have an F-35.
Your political sides, though, Colonel, I just think the conservative right is just a little bit smarter than the liberal left when it comes to the right to bear arms and protecting ourselves.
Yeah.
We shoot from the shadows. We don't go out and parade on the streets and go kill ICE officers or whoever. We're smart. We're laying at bay, waiting, for the right moment to strike.
I hope you're right. I'm not saying we're less smart because I'm part of that.
Well, I'm telling you, it may not happen right away, but you're going to see civil war in like the UK, and you're going to see in Ireland, and the U.S. is like armed to the hilt. It's when they start shooting people, like when Reagan, or when not when Reagan, but when Trump got shot. What's the right conservative guy?
Charlie
Kirk got shot. That springs, then people are gonna and I always say this, even with Filipino traffic here, enough people die, change is gonna come. And when they kill the wrong person, or the USA will revolt. Now the only thing that concerns me is we don't want the dollar's lost all its value already. We don't want that to be the factor that kills the dollar off. So, a civil war. So we got to maintain the rights. I think they're very smart, Colonel. When it comes to
the
that.
attention span of most Americans is very short.
Who puts that?
They don't have. I'll say a couple things. They can't use nuclear weapons on our own cities.
No, they ain't got to poison
and furthermore,
their own soil.
They don't.
What do you mean
They got F-35s, but let me tell you right now, they don't have enough JDAMs to drop on all of us. But our man is president anyway, so we don't care about that.
It's like an
don't
ant
say
pile,
they can't,
dude.
because they can. They can do whatever they want.
If you guys ever seen the ants' life, it's about the grasshoppers taking care of the ants. It's the same way in America, but we are the ants, and at the right breaking point, the ants will take over the grasshopper.
Brian says being manipulated against each other based on beliefs. Well, if one person believes that doesn't believe in freedom, they believe in communism, and one side believes in personal freedom, personal responsibility, individual freedom, and private property, we're going to have war. That's Brian. That's just not reconcilable. You can't reconcile the collectivist atheist position. Where we're going to collectivize and we all belong to the government we are all individuals endowed by our creator with certain inalienable rights. You can't reconcile those two positions. One side has to defeat the other. Okay? And what we've had is a cold civil war between the people who think that we all belong to the government, to the state, the statists, and the people who think that we are created in the image of God, endowed with certain unalienable natural rights, as our Declaration of Independence, as Thomas Jefferson and John Adams told us. So I'm with Jefferson and Adams, and if they want to collectivize us and make us all serfs, subjects to the dictates of some kind of collective, we're going to resist that because we are real Americans.
Go ahead, Colonel.
Okay, Panay Hart, back to this is back what you're talking about there in California. My signature is a contract with the government. My child's name is being used for these agencies to get funded. Yes, it's very complicated, and that's wrong. I'm sorry, that's just straight up wrong.
Yep.
And Sula says, this cracked me up, Sula. I love the way Belus says "little gal," and that's why we say, "Slow down, cowboy." I like that one.
Oh,
So she likes when you call her little gal.
gal.
Yeah, being manipulated against you. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. You said it. Jason Potter. Hey guys. Hey, back to you, Jason. Jay Boy says, hey. And Vegas Will. People love to say they hate California, but they stay there because it has good benefits compared to other states. I tell you what, Vegas Will, I ain't staying in California.
We'll see if it has better benefits when the system collapses, because we're near a systemic economic collapse. That's one of the reasons why we're going into Venezuela, because we need those resources.
Yeah.
We were rightfully taking them back because they nationalized it all and took it from American companies. It was feeding American shareholders. It was supporting our economy and lowering the price of oil, which is great for our economy. So the Orange Man going into Venezuela is a patriotic move to try to save America.
Yeah,
and make life better for the American people.
Not because they want the oil, to control the CCP and Russia.
Yeah.
And end the Ukraine war.
That's right.
They're going to end the Ukraine war with Venezuela.
The CCP is literally there taking the oil that the communist government that stole the election was stealing from the American people, essentially.
Yeah, so yeah, totally justified.
Jason Potter waves to Jay Boy. Sula says 1 person equals 10 votes. Panay Hart. At Vegas Will, we're leaving California. This is why we found this group.
Yeah.
And Panay Hart, in any way that we can assist you, just let us know.
Absolutely.
Panay Hart, I don't know the meaning of good benefits, because benefits is not a lifetime benefits. It is better to move back to the Philippines. Like I said, come on.
You know what?
Come
Yeah,
visit us.
it's
So
nice.
go ahead, Chuck.
No, it's nice. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say. When I was in Indonesia, I'd order a Coke from a street stall, and they pour it into a goldfish bag. I love it. The goldfish bag. Do they do that in Thailand or the Philippines? Yes, they do.
I've been there.
I think the bottle is
2018.
probably worth money to them. Yep. Yeah, I hate the little.
They do water
the
bags
plastic
here
bag.
too.
I
In
always
the
spill
Philippines.
it. Yeah, I always spill them all over. Yeah, the little water
Little
bag
water
with the straw
bags.
in it. I always spill them, sucker. I get so mad at myself.
Which the plastic is atrocious here.
Have they and are they turning, Mr. O'Brien? Turning, or is that a propaganda from those making money out of the decision? Good question, Brian. Good question. There's a lot of propaganda in every country, but especially America. I do think there's a great pride in the USA, in the people, proud to be American and flying your flag. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I got one right
Listen,
there.
we're not living physically in the U.S., but don't misunderstand it. We're still Americans, and we're still proud to be Americans. We're not proud of some things that are going on, but hey, I'm not giving up my citizenship.
I stand for America as it was
answer
founded.
me, because you guys are Americans,
about Brian
if
Craig.
we hit civil war, are you on the next plane to America to defend Missouri? If it's migrated from the east of Missouri, are you going to be there with your dad defending the farm?
That's a good
Or are you
question,
going to
Bill.
hide out here and say, nah, dad was mad at me, screw dad? Or what about you? Because you've been gone for 11 years. I myself would be there in a heartbeat. I wouldn't be on the front line. I'd be in the shadows. That's how I work. But I would go back. So answer me that. Would you?
Would I go? I will go where America needs me. Yeah.
Okay.
If
How
I
about
was,
you,
if
Chris?
I was,
I would
if
do
I
it
was
all
needed
over
back in
again.
America
You would do it all over.
defend
Okay.
America, I would go back.
Well,
in a
that's
second.
now you can kind of understand how American we are. We all three in that state of mind to the country would be on the next flight to defend the homeland.
But and at my age, honestly,
It don't matter.
Can
It
I
don't
still?
matter.
Can I still
Yes.
wield? Can I? No, I'm asking a rhetorical one. Can I still? This is rhetorical. Can I still wield a weapon of whatever? Yes, absolutely. But I also know that my services, they would be served by me in better areas, and I'll just keep those to myself.
And my granddad said, which my grandparents raised me, it doesn't matter in a draft. They always take the old ones too, so they can be in the front to
Yeah.
take the bullets for the young ones.
Right.
That's what my granddad said. So would we all be drafted?
Well, I'd like to think it's.
I would volunteer.
I would like to think it's old was. It would be the old ones in front, and we'd be handling it so the ones in the back don't have. To
I would
see it.
have to be
They
a
gotta see it, 'cause we're
Minuteman
gonna
probably
squash it.
because they wouldn't even allow me.
You know the
because I'm
story of
disabled.
Cincinnati, right?
Nah, probably not.
All right, Cincinnati, Ohio. The Roman Cincinnatus. He was a retired general, and he preferred to be farming. He spent his last like 20 years he's farming. The Roman army, the young men all went off to war in the distant reaches of the empire for the glory of the empire. Well, they had an army coming in to sack Rome. Cincinnatus, the citizens all got together and they told Cincinnatus, you know, he's had gray hair. He's an old man. We need you to be the general, to lead the army to defend Rome. And he came back. He saved Rome. King. He said, no, I want to go back to my farm. And he gave his authority back after he won the battle. All the old men, he drafted all the old men, got together, volunteered, fought off the invading army, and they wanted to make him the king. And he said, no, I'm going back to the farm. So that's why they got a statue in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, Brian, you're going to stir up a hornet's nest here with that. With
I think Brian's
comment.
trying to.
But and the gun manufacturers make a crap load out of that fear. It's not.
Well, I have an arsenal.
It's not fear.
And it ain't because of fear. Number one, it's just my lifestyle. I'm in the outdoors. And number two, to be a citizen in America, it comes with certain responsibilities. You know, that's the material capacity to resist tyranny. So that's why most of us Americans accumulate.
And that's why you see the mass shootings in California and blue states, because they don't have the right to bear arms in them areas, where you don't hear about that in Wyoming, in Montana, because everyone's packing. Somebody breaks the law, they run out of the store, they're either going to be shot or what, because everyone's got a gun. So it's like, don't take the guns away, they should be passing them out.
Yeah, let's look at the countries who have banned those things and whatnot, what's going on. And you got to understand, folks, I worked in a prison. If somebody can't, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this, but if somebody can't kill you with a gun, they're going to use something else.
They're going to shank you.
Yeah, you're going to get stabbed. And then
or run you over.
What country was that just in where they had like a mass stabbing?
Australia.
Yeah, we are in the era of CRISPR gene editing and very advanced biologicals.
That was a shootout.
I get a kick out. Hold on, I saw this on a live stream. I got a kick out. Is this Australian dude was just bashing the Americans? Oh yeah, we don't need guns here in Australia. Look, we banned them. You wouldn't have that happening here in Australia. Okay,
they'd all be speaking Japanese, and the British would all be speaking German if it wasn't for America and our guns.
Probably.
Don't forget that. You Aussies would all be speaking Japanese right now, and you'd be flying the Japanese flag would be flying over your country.
Shout out to Russia for munitions.
Hold on.
Shout out to Russia for munitions.
Let's be fair to the Australians, because the Australians have put forth some great soldiers, some great fighters that have supported us in our endeavors. So I'm not going to criticize that aspect of it, but I will criticize a government that's trying to take away the rights of.
They already took them away, man, when they gave up their guns.
If you're retired from Australia and you live in a foreign country, then you don't go back to Australia, guess what? You lose your benefits.
Yeah, they already took us. When you lost your guns, Australia, you lost your country, man.
Yep.
You lost it already.
It's gone. Now it's going to be your ability to fight back.
You are serfs. Americans we are citizens. That's the difference, Brian, between what you guys have, your system in Australia. You are subjects of the crown. We are citizens. The government is our servant. We are citizens in our country.
And why is that?
Because
we overthrew the empire because our forefathers didn't want to be subjects.
Yeah, by a bunch of farmers, actually.
Yeah, right. Farmers with their own squirrel guns.
Yep. Okay, we're back to California. J-Boy says people are not leaving California because of the benefits. They're simply staying because of familiarity. Uprooting is hard and people are lazy.
Like 20 more minutes,
easy to complain. Human nature keeps people stuck. How long is it going, Bill?
20 more minutes.
Okay, J-Boy, there seems to be a lot of homeless in California. Vegas will
say. You think?
Yeah, Sula, California has a lot of population, so they have more of that.
Nah,
Vegas. Well, I think it's pretty much most of your bigger cities in the U.S. are like that.
They pass out drug stuff.
I'll give you a classic example. And this is kind of gross. I hope I don't get banned for it. But I worked at a
you're on my channel.
I worked at a certain detention center in the city of Philadelphia. Now, when I was working there, I would have never allowed this, and this would have been unheard of. But now I understand that the staff there can't do anything about it. But you got people, homeless people or whatever, walking right up to the front door of this federal detention center, and they're defecating. right there at the front door and around that building, and the perimeter patrol officer is walking, can't stop them, can't do anything about it. He's not allowed to because that's a public sidewalk. But I'm here to tell you, when I was there, we didn't allow that. We didn't allow them to sleep right up against the building or defecate or whatever. That was unheard of. But I watched a friend and he showed. He actually showed me a video of a guy copping a squat. I'm like, and you're just gonna let him do that? And he said, we're not allowed to do anything. That's a shame. But anyway.
It's called indecent exposure.
So my point is that it's in any city.
He'd be arrested in Wyoming.
Yeah, well.
Indecent exposure.
Yeah, but they do that. They cop a squat here anywhere they want in Thailand. They do too. I'm sorry I got off on that, but it's one of the things that irritates me. Sewell, first time I ever saw the homelessness in USA, I couldn't believe it. For such a great country, it was a real shock. Welcome to the USA. Is it any wonder they want to stop the drugs coming in? Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing where a lot of foreigners, non-Americans, are kind of, and I don't mean this bad way, but they're kind of ignorant to what the USA really is. They see the USA on Hollywood. They see advertise all this. That is not the USA. The USA is a country just like any other country. We've got good and bad, albeit we have a great beginning, a great story. We're still a great country. However, we have issues, And when people are coming in, they're shocked. Oh, why the homeless people? Okay, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. It's just the way it is.
Stone Cold Steve got one I'm going to jump to. He says, where do you feel safer for kids in schools, U.S. or Australia? Statistically, Stone Cold Steve, kids in school in either country are fairly safe. It's not getting physically harmed in school that's the problem. It's getting hooked on drugs, the permissive values they're learning from the school that's the problem.
Or having no values.
Yeah, or no values at all. Yeah.
And overall, kids in America are safe.
Yeah.
We got a school resource. Is he in Australia or is he in the US?
Stone Cold Steve's in Australia.
Okay, Steve, we have our schools since the shooting started up, they all have school resource officers, 2 per school. And even in Wyoming, we have 2 officers per school. So they have lockdowns and they have drills and stuff too in them schools.
Yeah.
So there are actually, the schools are being policed now. So that's why you've heard of less school shootings. But
Okay.
and the school shootings you do hear of are in blue states again.
Yeah.
So
okay,
go ahead.
Okay, and even besides, 1971. Oh, was it 1971? No. 1972, I was in 3rd grade, living in Brooklyn, New York, okay? And I went to PS 104, which is a public school. We had drills way back then where the teachers would sound a bell.
Oh yeah.
The teachers would walk outside the classroom, shut the door behind them, and they would stand in the corridor. Why were they doing that? It was for security because we had an intruder from the outside, a non-student or non-staff member, and they would stand out there to catch the person that was entering into the school.
And also tell them about the bomb drills.
That's way back in. Oh, we could go back
schools
to
are
the
getting
nuclear
evacuated.
drills where we had to hide under the. We had to
Yeah, we had to hide under the
It
desk.
kills me
Under
that,
the
yeah,
desk.
yeah.
Yeah, and bomb drills. We
Oh,
actually
my goodness.
hid under the desk because Russia was going to bomb
my-
us.
Because the
point is
leftists
this.
gave them the bomb.
Yeah.
My point is this: is that the threat has always been there. It's just because of media and whatnot. It's more. We're in the information age more so now, where things are sent around the world instantaneous. Okay, so it seems like it's a bigger problem. The problem was always there. Maybe in a different vein, but it was always there. We were always in New York City. They always felt like we were in danger. It's just the way it is. But I never felt like I was in danger because the teachers were there to protect us. Vegas, that's a good point. Huge population. Oh, I missed one. California, because 4th biggest economy after all.
I used to see
Last year, people
Yeah,
in
go
the
ahead.
economy says they're leaving California. Let's see. Yes, so it's huge. Too many people. Be careful, Jane. Panay Hart, people are misunderstood the meaning of benefits in California. That is not easy to obtain. Sula says, we never hear any of this in the mainstream. No, you won't, Sula. You won't, because they want to keep
Propaganda
people,
again.
They want people
Brainwashed.
They want people to be ignorant, and I always go back to the same story, and I may have told it before. But when I was in the army, okay, I was involved in something in the army, and it doesn't matter what it was, but I was involved. And when I went home, and it made the news on CNN, and what they were reporting on CNN, I was just like, what?
Can I tell a
I was
story
there.
too?
That ain't what happened.
I want to tell a quick story.
Alright.
So in 1990 something, in my school, we had one of the first school shootings in America, and a guy came to school to kill the the gym teacher, which gave him swats on every other day basis for being a bad kid. And he was going to do a school shooting. And he went out after lunch. All the kids would congregate on the football field for after lunch before class, as like a recess before. And the guy went out there with a assault rifle and he semi-automatic, and it's like bum 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 because the guy wasn't there that was usually watching over it. And guess who got him? The police? No, a normal bystander with a hunting rifle. I mean, that's Wyoming. So I consider Wyoming exempt from a lot of the U.S. I mean, it's kind of in its own culture, but when it's just active instinct to, like, we never run away from gunfire, we always run into it. So as far as Wyoming, and this is for anyone living in a blue state or whatever, like, you know, and they're conservative or their Christian values and they hold them. Yeah, Wyoming's pretty much exempt from a lot of that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and as liberal as that state is, I felt that when I lived up in Alaska. Because Alaska, I don't know what it is now, but back then it was an open carry state.
Alaska's
And-
conservative,
and you,
dude.
well, they weren't always. Cause some of they are, but they are socially. They're not necessarily conservative.
Okay.
Unless it's changed. Now,
Yeah, I
Alaska,
think it's
that's true.
changed.
Alaska has changed, but when I lived there, okay, this is in the '80s.
Okay.
Was I'll just give you a crazy example. Was you didn't dare raise a hand to a child around a public servant in Alaska.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. But
Go ahead and fly through.
yeah, but anyway, but it was open carry.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It's
so,
open
so
carry
it was
Wyoming,
it was very safe to live there. I'll never forget this one lady. She had a revolver strapped to her hip that went down below her knee, and I'm just like, how can you walk, lady? I mean,
Well,
it was
some of the
almost as big
grizzly
as she
bears,
was, man.
some of the grizzly bears, you need that.
Well, when I went hunting, I carried, and I had some hot loads done by a reloader, specifically not to kill, but to stop.
Yeah.
You know, so I said I don't want it to be fast. I just wanted to pack a punch, because I would go fishing and you would see the bear tracks, and yeah, Alaska's for real.
Yep.
That place is for real, man. I loved it up there, but it's for real. It's not easy to obtain those benefits from Panay when you are sharing those benefits with illegals. Yeah. And Vegas Will says, and yes, Sula, we're leaving America too. Sula, Vegas, where are you going? Philippines? Vegas, well, Sula, waiting for a condo in, oh, you're going to Bacoor, okay. Up there in Cavite area. So maybe 2027 or Manila, south of Manila. 2 kids now, so replanning. Sula, this is the difference. You would fight for your country, and we would for ours, but not sure the citizens will for Europe. Isn't that sad? It seems like failure to a lot of people, and Trump called them out at the UN. Yeah, he did, Sula, and kudos to him for doing that.
Like we're saying,
you
Europe
can see the uncomfortable. You can see the uncomfortableness of some of the people during it. They're kind of like squirming in their seats a little bit.
Yeah, they throw them in jail.
Because the truth hits a little bit too close to home. Nice one, Vegas. Good for you guys. From Sula, J Boy, even Gino, he's a proud Filipino American. He said if U.S. Air Force came calling, he would be there in a heartbeat. Yes, he did. He'd be there in a heartbeat. Most Filipinos are pro-American, unless you're down at midnight now, corrupted by that religion. I hear you. That's amazing at J Boy. Australia, there's a lot of corruption. It's not just religion in the Philippines. Anyway, Australia is already invaded by Chinese. They don't even know it. So is the U.S., J Boy.
Yeah, that like
Come on.
in Phoenix, the Chinese mafia run masseuse shops. So we all know what masseuse shops are, and that's right in Phoenix.
No,
They
tell us, what are they?
They shut them down they'll shut 7 to 10 down a day.
Tell us, Belus, what is?
Yeah,
what
you
is
know
that?
what it is. So for everyone shut down, there's 14 open, so they can't even control that in Phoenix, Arizona.
Belus
so.
can't tell us how he knows because his wife is
Go
conversation.
there, dude.
So-
Come on, seriously.
I'm messing with you, man. Just messing with you.
Okay, go ahead. I don't even go to Arizona.
No, man. Stop, man. I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry. I'm just digging him a little bit. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, actually, I'm not. But
I
anyway,
know.
it sounds
I
good
know
to
you're
say I'm
not.
sorry. Okay. I lost my train of thought. Sula says we're all jumping all over the globe. Stone cold. Where do you feel safer? Oh, okay. James read that already.
Oh,
We
you're
talked
way
about that
behind, dude.
extensively. Yeah, we were way behind. James jumped way ahead.
Okay.
This live stream is worldwide. Sula, absolutely. That's for sure, J Boy. This is a great
Thanks, J Boy,
conservation.
too, for all you do on here.
Yeah, J Boy's he's a great
For
comment.
moderating
So
and
is
whatnot. I
Sula,
appreciate
Panay
it.
Hart, all you guys, Stone Cold. Panay Hart at home, just to share, even with a permanent disability, the government can remove benefits at any time. When people can't fight it, they lose their benefits and often everything else too. Yeah, absolutely right. And let's hope that doesn't happen to people. I don't want it to happen to me either, but could it? Absolutely.
It happened in Ukraine.
Another reason for homelessness at Panay and a breakup can leave people homeless. Panay Hart, my husband almost lost the opportunity to receive his benefits, and I had to involve a restaurant party to resolve the issue. After 5 years, he finally received his education benefits. Isn't that crazy? That takes so much just to get something that was already earned. Sula, I meant it's great conversation, but I said conservation. Okay, all right, Sula, that's fine. But yeah, conversation. It's always good to have a good conversation. Wait, that sounds like something Kamala would say. It's always good to have a good conversation. And if the conversation is good,
This is a debate,
then
man.
it's a conversation that's good.
This is a debate.
My name's Kamala Harris. Okay, that's sounds Sula. Sounds like everything is real struggle and stressful. I notice a lot of people like James and Colonel seem to have a relief over them when they moved away to the Philippines, less stress. Yeah, Sula. Actually, mine started when I moved to Thailand. Over 11 and a half years ago, I retired from the federal government, and the stress I had was not just from the social job, but it was mostly from the job that I had
James?
and the responsibility I had.
Okay, we're only on for
Extremely
about
stressed out,
7
and
more
I realized
minutes.
that it was affecting my health in a negative way, and I had to change that. So, just for the sake of I wanted to live a little bit longer, because they always told us our mortality rate was at the age of 55, and I'm 61, so I feel like I'm on borrowed time, and I attribute that to coming over to Southeast Asia and de-stressing and less worrying about the things that I'm concerned about and have difficulty personally fighting for.
So we're
But I
going
can
to...
still come on here and say how I feel, and that's part of the de-stressing too. Getting it out, saying what you need to say to get it out of your system.
So we're going to... Colonel's going to fly through these comments, and we're going to end this live stream in like 6 minutes. So,
Okay. All right. Panay Hart says, absolutely, because when they remove those benefits, this is because I'm the only one who knows how to read. Then
You're good at it.
no, James knows how to read. Then can someone afford to pay the rent and other expenses? So we were just in the process of moving back to the Philippines. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Come on. Ted from Bohol says, yep, Belus having more guns in the right hands is the answer to the problems in the U.S. In the right hands is the key word there, keywords. Would you say your fellow Americans back home are aware of everything we discussed here, or would they be going by the mainstream news? Unfortunately, go by the mainstream news.
The majority.
That's just a fact.
There's about 1/3, Sula, that are like us. About 1/3.
Okay. Ted from Bohol, Colonel has had too many happy endings. Come on, Ted. Come on, man.
In Phoenix.
You don't know? Because I haven't told you. Come on, man.
Joe Biden.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, man.
Wait. Who am I?
Come on, man.
Sorry. Dang, Belus. Time to change the oil, man.
Time to I know,
I'm
I
sorry,
know, I
man.
know.
That's our best with you. I used to kill me when they see. Never mind. We gotta go through the comments.
We gotta
But
get
Joe
off
Biden
there.
used. Man, what a. Oh my goodness. What
Yeah.
a pervert. Ha. Camille. I think it's Colonel. You're a funny Colonel. Well, Sula,
He's a storyteller.
I enjoy trying to be funny. I don't always succeed. Like my kids always said, Dad, you're not even funny. You're the only one who's laughing. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's the only one that matters. At Belus is from Sula. Do you feel less stress there, even with your business? You feel less stress here, Belus?
What's that?
Do you feel less stress living in the Philippines than in the U.S., even with your business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Simple answer, yes. Panay Hard at home.
Even with the
Sula.
weather.
If they have other things to deal with, a lot of them won't fight back. That's true.
They won't even have the chance.
Brian's back. Sula, true Panay. Ted, a whole no-brainer. Sula, of course. Sula says, Belus, James, Colonel, and everyone in the chat, thank you so much for this conversation. I really appreciated your time.
Thank you.
You guys are great. The Three Musketeers. Woohoo! Thank you, Sula, for being here, and thank you for your comments. And J Boy, as a final comment, I think we're at the end. Slow down, cowboy.
All right. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Thank you, Belus Traveler Farming in
Yeah.
the Philippines and the Colonel's Chronicles.
I think we enjoyed this thoroughly, folks. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, thank
Until
you
next
so
time.
much for J-Boy, the moderators, and everybody for joining my live stream. If you like what you heard, click like and subscribe and give a shout out. And I'm just trying to get hours, so we'll
Same
be
here.
doing it. And the Colonel, shout out to Colonel's Chronicles.
Yeah, go over and watch some videos, folks, just to get my watch time up. I hate to do a shameless plug,
And
but that's where I'm at.
No,
right
it's
now.
all good, bro.
That's where I'm
Aaron
at.
Goba. Sula. Thanks for Sula for being here.
And shout out to James and Karen Adventures. Check out their channel and my channel, Belus Traveler Farming in the Philippines. And
Yeah, without I just want to say this real quick. Without the support of James and Karen, there's so many YouTubers out there, and you know who you are. You wouldn't be where you're at today without James and Karen.
yeah, so special thanks
That's
to
just the way
James.
it is.
And
Thank you, Colonel. That's really kind.
That's the truth.
he really goes out of his way. He came all the way across the Philippines just to help my
A
channel.
lot of people
So,
made their channel on the backs of James.
yeah,
and Karen, and you
that's
guys
true
have no
story.
respect.
So thanks everybody, J-Boy, moderator, Ted. Till next time. Peace, Steve.
Thanks, Bido Sula. Yeah, thanks, James. Amen, Colonel. Stone Cold. Yeah, thank you.